going to go through here, break it down if he wants to. We don't have to because that's weird. Oh, I did tell him. Okay. Okay, good. All right, guys, enjoy the new video, Hierarchy, and then we're going to talk to our collaborator, Holden Stephan Roy. So, yes, watch closely, everybody. Watch for the things you missed last time because it moves quick. It moves real quick. So get your notepads out. No, I'm just kidding. Don't get your notepads out. All right, I'm going to go pee, guys.
Ils ne comprendront pas. Ils vont jamais dans la servitude, ceux avec la force du gagné. Je me souviens qui m'a laissé seul.
Intellect pays, now a renegade. Common neighbor built this way, never placated by the simple way. Day saving on display, get it and gain a level in this game. Start on repeat again and again and again. Sure, there's always change, but apparently the daily stuff with less change. As the AI behaves based on every play made, dopped up, out of range. As the kill shot eliminates, the currency accumulates. Compound the interest among us. The club reluctant and sus, the trust busted up as lungs. Muster up, lover reigns. What about us? The funds don't stay flush. We're spilling up on guns. 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 In a different home, locked in and hidden on the plebs, won't leave it alone. The stings they'll never even know that paranoia grow with the capital. Freedom, baby, let it ring. Sing the song of you, the soul. The one that no one that he knows. Focused on imaginary goals. He loved to forever swear guilty to the throne. Extol admiration while rolling over. The dog he's holding. Get to robbing. His own hobbyist get bodied. Seen it once, running up, muttering that it's tough. Never tough, leisureless. Puppets dancing for lucky ballots. Cash for the most dapper and clunky. Accolades from actors so chunky. They spit like poverty, some funky. The caliber, the character, they carry on for lineage. How the harbingers of dark blue worlds. This satirical barbarians contrary them with upliftments. Chaotic and just watch the mess they twirl. We're spilling up on guns. We're spilling up on guns. We're spilling up on guns.
Ils ne comprendront pas. Ils vont jamais dans la servitude, ceux avec la force du gagné. Je me souviens qui m'a laissé seul.
Brought to you by Pfizer. Fuck you. Pay me.
You know how to get that. All right, guys. Go ahead. Holden, mic up. We're going to bring out today's guest, Mr. Holden Stephan Roy. Oh, shit. Where's the thing at? There it is. Hey, there it is. There he is. Yes, Yes, indeed. There he is, everybody. Give him a round of applause. Yes, for the woos. Yes, for the woos. God damn it, I still have it fucked up. What's going on, buddy?
Life's good.
Oh shit. We're in the we're getting staticky.
All right, yo, give me a second.
All right. We talked about this beforehand, folks. We expected this. We expect Zoom is weird too because like if you leave it alone and let it sit by itself.
Do I still sound staticky?
No, you're good. No, we're good.
It's wild. I just had to reset all the sound stuff, and then it works again. And it was really good until Windows 11. So word to the wise, don't get Windows 11 if you do this kind of stuff.
Windows 11 sucks, everybody. Why can't I open this? Why won't you let me open this, you son of a bitch? Just let me open it. Let me open this. Yes. Just Let me open it. Sorry, guys. I'm trying. Oh, because I saved it twice. God, I'm such a. Anyways, how you doing, bud? How is your day going? Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I've been on vacation like since Christmas Eve, so it's been nice.
You've
It's
been just
like,
chilling.
Yeah, I mean, a lot more like the best part about vacation when you're busy is when you sit there and do nothing for like 90 minutes and you're like, Psh, I still got time to do shit. That is the most amazing part of vacation.
This
It's just
ain't even
that.
my
And then
whole
you can't
day.
do that in normal life.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
It's like I did nothing.
Yeah,
It feels good.
I ended up working this whole time. I mean, coronavirus isn't a vacation by any means, but I ended up working diligently on that stupid video for hours and hours and hours. But yeah, I didn't really vacation. I didn't even really rest. It was more like I couldn't sleep well. I couldn't do anything great for this week, so I just went and how is it 2% now? How does the Mexican percentage got up to 2%? How did that even happen? I set it to 1.
It just doubled.
We just doubled our Mexican, y'all. Here we are, giving us the goods. There it is. So there it is. We did it. So Holden, you have a lot of words. That's how it works in Mexican. Yeah, you double by the minutes. You're very wordy. Yes, 32%. You can do better at moving Dutchman.
Bro, I'm like the opposite of brevity.
Well, yeah, I know, but it made my job much harder. Like if you were a slow rapper, like from the 1980s or 90s rapper, this would have been way easier for me. Let me just tell you, if you would have been like Eazy-E,
half the fucking words.
Yeah, exactly. If you could have been Eazy-E or something.
You'd be surprised when you really like run through it. He's still at a relatively quick pace, and when you got, because his verses were like twice as long lengthwise, so like you would just be sitting there spending just as much time.
I see.
But those 6-minute rap songs, with like 2 lines of chorus.
Yeah. They didn't know what they were doing. They were just doing stuff, which is the best, right? Like that. I think that's the best with music. It's when people don't really know what they're doing. They're just doing, and whatever comes of it is going. That's kind of how I feel about this song, honestly, because like I didn't know how I wanted it to be released, and I always wanted it to be like a hip hop song, but I wasn't sure how or who would be able to do it. And you really did sort of hone it in and bring it home for me, man. Like I really appreciate that you, because honestly, all I gave Holden was the hook. I was like, the hook is King, Queen, Prince, or King, Queen, Prince, Slave, and that's really it,
Well, that's like a shit ton.
Mm-hmm.
That's like everything,
right?
To me.
Yeah.
It's more than that, though, because it's not like just the words. Like, you give the music, and the music has a whole communication attached to it, too. So this is, like, tapping into that, like, cyberpunk dystopian vibe, which is really kind of scarily real with the meta. So, like, it kind of, like, flexes into that. And if you think about the societal breakdown of class structure, it almost feels like it's king, queen, prince, and slave.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is pretty simple. Right.
and that's and to think about like that as what I kind of see that sort of happening, because there's this ruling class, and then there's sort of like this upper crust that's allowed to exist with them, sort of, but not really. And then there's just the rest of us, right? There's like, middle class can say whatever they want, but that's quickly dwindling. And so that the idea in my head has always been
why middle class can say what they want? It's because they never do, so they can say what they want.
Okay, fair enough. I saw Castro in there too. Yes, the Castro was in there because we've been talking about what is the conspiracy? Because I put in there.
Yeah.
The conspiracy.
Because, he got a little close with Sophie Trudeau once upon a time, and allegedly smashed it up, and now Justin's daddy is Cuban.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
That allegedly, the story goes is that while on holiday in Cuba, the Trudeaus, Trudeau's. I don't know.
Yeah, bro, it's Trudeau.
Trudeau. Thank you, Margaret
It's like
Trudeau.
saying it's true, though.
Oh, Justin's Trudeau. Justin's wife is Sophie. Margaret was Pierre's.
Oh, I fucked up.
You did
Sophie's
fuck up.
the current Trudeau. See, I'm not even because she's so irrelevant. Who fucking cares about Sophie? No offense, but like she done nothing of like import or relevance to Canadian politics or society or culture other than marrying Justin. So
Yeah.
in my opinion, she's hard to remember.
Yeah. Same with Jill Biden. Like, what is she even doing? Like, I don't even know what she's doing. She's hiding under. She's hiding behind the
I didn't know
poor.
her name was Jill until today.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, I'm sure she's having a hard time with those poor approval ratings that our Byron has. But that's not what we're here to talk about right now. We're here to talk about hierarchy, and obviously the idea of the song touches on a lot of what we do talk about here, and like I was just very impressed that you were able to sort of take that and just like nail it home. It really, I couldn't have done it any better. You know what I mean? Like to get what I was going for, and well, at least in my head. So mad love there. So I'm gonna pull up let's pull up the thingy-mabob. What the fuck? Oh yeah. There you go. And let's pull up the lyrics here. Boom. We got lyrics. We got Holden up here. So, I'm not sure on how well
The French part.
Oh yeah, we should start. I don't even have the French part on here. That's how
No, I found it. I had it. No, I know, but I have it for the people. I could put it in the chat actually.
Yeah, put it in the chat for us so we can see it. Because there's something behind that.
This is the French part in French.
The French part in
And
French.
then this is the French part in English.
Yes.
Because I didn't write it in French. I actually hit up Homeboy and I'm like, bro, can you make this French for me?
No, I thought you guys talked
So
French
shut up,
over there. Can you make this French?
I do, but we're talking about like I can speak French, but we're talking like proper grammar shit where like it's like actually making it make sense at a nuance level where French is super particular. So like I actually wrote a French verse after this, and then while I was recording it, French Homeboy was on the stream with me and he's like, I hate to be that guy, Holden, but and I'm like, bro, please correct it all now so I don't sound stupid after. So I sent him that, but in English it's they won't understand. Forever living in service to those who with the strength to remember those who left me alone, or strength to win. I remember, so they won't understand. Forever living in service to those with the strength to win. I remember those who left me alone.
Yeah,
because I was, you know what happens when you start climbing that social ladder is all that stuff rappers rap about with the no new friends and the haters and all of that clout chasey, all of that weird people. All of that, right? So then it's like people dip in and out and whatnot, all in this weird social charade. And it feels so much like the modern societal structure is like this dance and this charade and shit. So at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, only so many people had the strength to really cut through. And I'm going to remember who dipped.
Yeah, for sure.
That's kind of where I was at when I wrote that.
Well, I mean, and that's applicable for everybody in every situation, right? Because in my head, that there's like a character here kind of sort of explaining a journey or explaining how they're going to get past, the barriers and how they're going to sort of rule the hierarchy. And they're sort of seeing and poking holes through currently. So, I mean, even the video is sort of mapped out in that.
It's also like,
Go ahead.
It's also like that middle class stuff you were describing before. To me, that's the most plebeian shit ever. And middle class people tend to hate some of my philosophical views, but the only real hustlers I've met are poor or rich. Like the middle class is kind of the lazy safe route. And it's like poor people hustle because they gots to.
Yeah.
And rich people kind of hustle because they can. And then the middle class cops houses.
Yeah.
And has kids.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple little side hustles. And I'm
Right.
like, when I say little, I mean they big for the homeboys. Like, and you don't really see that thirst and that hunger in it. So it's like they want to follow those who do well rather than actually apply and stuff. So that's kind of the mind frame. But then that's where the verse comes in. It is kind of a character. There's like two parts to it. I like to write like almost story-esque without being direct. But like that whole first verse is like, you know what happens when you get smart? You become a fucking intellectual renegade. You learn shit, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, people be like, "How do you know?" That's like the first thing everybody questions. Anything you may know, and then people start spitting shit, and it's dumb. Like
Oh,
yo,
Moving
I
Dutchman,
got
thank you for
gifted
that
stuff
gift
this
sub.
time.
Thank you. I gotta move the
Word.
alert box. Hold on. Let me move the alert box so it's not getting covered because we want to be alerted here, folks. We want to be alerted. There we go. Thank you,
Yeah,
Moving Dutchman. You're being too
I
kind today.
appreciate that,
And
moving Dutchman. That's like big stacks.
that
61 gift subs in the channel. That's a
Moving
big
Dutchman.
number.
Moving Dutchman knows. No,
And
he
you
knows.
got me a badge. I don't know why I got a badge. Can't do anything, but I'm gonna thank him in the chat.
Of course.
Boom.
Thank him. Thank you. Big thanks. Big thanks to the Moving Dutchman. Much appreciated, my friend. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. But yeah, intellect as you get
like,
smarter, and especially if you make that public, like if you're, because a lot of people who are smart will stay silent, right? Gangsters move in silence. That came up yesterday, So like sometimes it's better off to be quiet.
That's a good point.
But please,
unless you're in this job.
What?
Like in this job, right? Like you have to kind of flex your intelligence if you want to be in podcasting in the greater social conversation. So when you're in that influencer role, you can't really hide it. And then I read all these books and shit. Motherfuckers is a little bit different after you read all the books and stuff. Like, I've had people throw it in my face like we're in high school, like, you're too smart. And I'm like, yo, bro, relax yourself. But like, you talk social media, get more people, and you can instantly see who knows things and who Googled things 2 weeks ago. Anyway, so I feel like, everyone's common made and built to sway. So like, everyone's just regular and they're built to be convinced.
Yes.
But I'm never placated by the simple way. Like, gotta be more complicated. The simple shit's always bored me. Like, at no time in my life have I been like, I'm gonna go cop a house and that's the angle. Like, I don't know. To me, that seems like it's just, even economically, it's a safe investment without any risk and the lowest return possible.
Yeah.
I don't exactly remember day saving on display.
Well, I want to say,
pretty sure it has something to do with just.
Well, I want to kind of dip in here too, because I sort of, on my end, I'm sort of going through here and, interpreting it in my way and sort of through memes. And sort of that's what I've realized what I do is I sort of go through and make memes and add them to videos and shit. And that's sort of where I'm at, like as a content creator. Where the fuck did this stupid thing go? Come on, get out of here. So like, I kind of want to go through here. I'll have the sound off so we can kind of see what my ideas were.
We could just run the lyrics through your video too, eh?
Yeah, we can,
that
huh?
would make more sense if we just run it through the video.
Yeah, that would make way more sense. Whatever, Holden, shut up. Shut up, Holden. Don't tell me what to do.
Just collaborating in real time, my guy. I'm just collaborating.
We speak English good, Groot. No, and you're right, Pizza Jams. If you're the smartest man in the room, the smartest person in the room, not just man. If you're the smartest person in the room, you are in the room, wrong room. You can have some decent returns on houses depending on when you buy and sell. That is true.
If you have equity already, you're right. But like, if you come from where I come from and ain't nobody giving you that down payment, it's like you have to choose between something like music or the house. It's really hard to have both.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my head's at with that. So a lot of people can just know that, yo, mommy gonna co-sign that house and we gonna get that shit. That's a little bit not where I'm from. So I guess I just don't see it the same. But you're right. If you come in strong, houses is a fantastic, safe way to make a lot of money with a lot of repair work and time. Anyway, I can go on about houses for a minute. It's not that relevant.
Holding those houses, all right. So we have never placate by a simple way, and so built to sway. I just put trees as swaying because that's like. Sometimes I was just putting words in the search box. I was like, oh yeah, that'll work. But like for me, when it said never play.
Not in Montreal, Mr. Cartanega. We do not. It's hard to cop a house. Like, almost nobody my age has houses. They cop condos, and to me, that's not the same thing. I mean, in a sense, it's a property flip, but you're buying an apartment, and like. Yeah, I ran the economics, and if your rent is in the ballpark of $750 to $1,000, you will actually save money not copping a house if you take into account inflation, taxes, repairs, and everything else. And we happen to have a rent in that place, so it's like we can choose which we want. But yo, anyway. It's a real
No, please.
conversation that people don't have about how expensive fucking houses are because they act like it's just raw up. But I'm like, no, you're going to put in so much time. You could never develop certain skills because you're going to be mowing your lawn and shit.
Mowing
My
lawn, making
landlord gotta mow
repairs.
the
Yeah.
lawn.
Well, no, that's very true. People think it's just like, oh, I have a house now, and I just have to pay my house payment. But it's like, what if your heater goes out? Guess what? The landlord's not gonna come and replace that bitch. You're spending 10 G's on that shit yourself, and that's on the low end.
Facts.
That's probably not on the low end. That's probably on the high
Our
end.
fridge broke. They fixed it. Easy peasy. They just fixed it. Our toilet broke. They fixed it. Easy peasy. I don't stress.
750 new. Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah, I bet.
Let's say we pay that in Canadian here, and it's never gonna happen again. We can't move.
We're here forever. Sorry, family. We're here for good. We're not going.
We have to get rich first.
That's how it be sometimes. So like for me, I thought that never placated by the simple way. You know, like some in my head, people who are placated by the simple way are people who just scroll all day and hitting the like button and just being like, oh, or Netflixing or like whatever it is, you know, just placated by and satisfied with whatever entertainment that's sort of shoved into their gullet. So, you know, I threw up that.
Yeah, that would work.
I mean, yeah, why not, right? So it's interesting the way that you're interpreting what you wrote and the way that, well, I mean, your intentions of what you wrote and how I'm interpreting it. So I thought that's what would be kind of interesting to sort of see where we were coming from. And you guys tell us if this is not interesting, because if this is not interesting, we can just start talking about vaccines right fucking now, because Montreal is fucking, they're in the streets stomping around in the snow.
Montreal's gonna impose. I don't know about that. I found out from Mike.
Brought to you by
but,
Pfizer.
Yeah, they're gonna make us
Fuck
have
you.
to like
Pay me.
fucking get vaccinated to go to the grocery store.
And is that okay with
People
you?
don't really Netflix.
Are you okay
I'm
with that
conflicted.
idea? You're conflicted?
So where I'm at, democratically speaking, most people got vaccinated, and they were like 85% of people were on board prior to whatever. So the people that are like loudly holding out clearly don't believe in democracy, and that's where I'm at with it. Like they're more, and it's like you can't have both. You can't be a democratic free society and then be mad when the vast majority, not like a 60-40 split. We're saying it's like an 85-15 split. So it's like where we're at, like the people spoke, it doesn't matter what I think. That's not just the government. It turns out that most people are really on board with this shit. So it's like kind of wild that like, so if you believe in democracy, then I suppose I'm fine with it, because otherwise it's just like, what's the fucking point? I mean, I got vaccinated because I'm going to deal with the public and I care about like the health. I know that the vaccination has nothing to do with the spread of COVID and it has everything to do with lowering the impact. It's not really a vaccination. It's an inoculation. And I don't know why everyone calls it a vaccination. I think that's the stupidest shit ever. If they just called it an inoculation from jump, entire conversation avoided. And then like it's like the fucking flu shot, which, believe it or not, people was debating every single year in my office place since like 2010. So it's like none of this is new conversations to me.
No, of course
Like,
not.
so,
But
don't know.
I think what people are fighting for, that 15%, are fighting for something bigger than just getting inoculated. It's the idea that so the government can come in and tell you what you are going to put in your body and what you're gonna do. And I think that's the part that people are
They
freaking
did
about.
that though.
Yeah, they
There's
do it all
like
the time.
a vaccination passport but there's a vaccination passport in Canada, and you can't go to public school without a bunch of vaccinations.
And that's why they're in the
Like,
streets, though. But that's the whole point.
No, we're talking about like when I was 5 years old, I couldn't go to public
Right.
school unless I was vaccinated.
Same here.
And
Same still.
everybody got those shots. We was cool. I traveled to Pakistan. I needed a bunch of shots that were like that. It was like, you want malaria or you want to go be fucking safe? And I said, I want to be safe. And I took all the shots. I never asked questions then. I was cool. You know what? My homeboy didn't get the shots. He got mad sick. I didn't get mad sick. Then there was the whole measles thing in 2016, 17. I don't know if you remember this measles
The
thing.
reemergence.
So I learned all. I learned all about vaccinations and all of the science back then. Like the conversation people were having in 2020 was had 5 years ago or whatever. And like everyone just forgot. And then nobody cared. So like,
no,
to me,
I think
I'm
it
listening
ramped
so
up.
the other side of it is that the people who are anti-vax often, this is not a blanket statement, it's just anecdotally, are the same people who bragged about how they never needed math in their life and now all of a sudden are a statistician. And I'm like, so when they say stuff like 50,000 medical professionals are hesitant about a vaccination, I'm like, cool. If 0.01% of people said don't smoke weed, I'd still smoke weed as I hold my joint.
Yeah.
So the fact that people don't understand stats and data analysis, like data analysis is a profession. I go to work and I'm a shitty data analyst. As in, I am the worst kind of data analyst you're going to get. I can make some basic assumptions, but like it's part of my job, bro. Like it's actually something I get paid to do, analyze data and make reports and PowerPoints off of it. So it's like a profession. And then all of a sudden, everybody on Facebook's a data analyst, according to what I see. And so it's kind of like, yo, y'all are just wild as you go eat McDonald's. You know, like there's just too many inconsistencies in a lot of the behavior of people.
But I think
where
go ahead,
I just
please.
don't care. I mean, like, frankly, I never gave a shit about the side. Like, I just do believe that, like, if you look at what Bill Gates did, he kind of stopped malaria being the worst.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
If you
No, he
kind
did
of
a
look
lot
at
of
what
good
a lot
stuff.
of these people have been doing for the last decade, it's not like the random people started making vaccines. It's the people who have spent the last 30 years making vaccines, adapted an existing vaccine for us. And then if you think about how viruses work, they evolve. That's just why we can't cure the cold. That's why the cold ain't gone away.
And that's why
And this is a
COVID's not going to
virus.
go
It's
away.
not one of,
COVID's
and
not
it's
going
supposed to evolve. And do you know what's happened every time it's evolved so far? It's gotten weaker.
Weaker.
It's more widespread, but it's effectively weaker. So, like, to me, if you look at any of the habits of infectious diseases over the last 2,000 years that have been recorded, yeah, it kind of makes sense why they're behaving like this. Because, bro, if 20% of the population died, everybody would be feeling different.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'd rather them be extra cautious. And this is just me. I'm not saying, because listen, the government lied on every step of the way about this. The way the Quebec government played this shit was so corny that even I want to smack the shit out of some of them because it's so stupid how they fucking flip-flopped and lied. How at December 30th at like 4 o'clock, they're like, fuck your New Year's Eve plans, bitch. They could have ended it and deaded it a week before and not let people get excited. But the way they toy with the emotions is wrong.
Right. Yeah.
However, motherfuckers are not getting vaxxed and the shit's spiking to a majillion gabillion fucking cases and there's a curfew again. So it's like, bitch, what are you holding out for? You're fucking up my day. I don't care about your right to choose, to be honest, selfishly.
That you know, and that's you, and that's why there's a bunch of people tromping
No,
around.
that's I'm gonna be honest. There's 85% of us, yo, bro, and I'm at work, when I hear the conversations there, it's like fucking anti-vaxxer. They deserve to die level shit. I don't think the other people hear what the other people are actually thinking. Like, this shit's wild because, like, you have one group of people that's, like, scared because they either lost a person. You're like, my dad got COVID. It was kind of scary for a second. Like, yo, you got COVID. Like, it's
My
like
mom
people
got
are
COVID and
acting
she
like
got
it's
really
just
bad.
nothing.
No, it's bad.
And then my biggest issue with the anti-vax crowd, and I have one issue, is that they always say the same thing. How am I supposed to still get COVID after getting vaccinated? I'm like, bitch, nobody ever said it. You were going to not get COVID.
Yes, they
That's some
did.
shit y'all made up on TikTok and YouTube by yourselves.
Nope. Our president said that.
No, maybe your people did. But
Our president said it from the beginning.
Which
Anthony
president?
Fauci said it. Byron
Trump?
Byron said it. Byron said, if you take this vaccine,
Okay,
you
none
will
of the
not be
people that
spreading.
I ever
I can pull up a
like,
video.
I never got that shit said to me. Unless Bonnie's going to be like, Holden Trudeau said that shit. I never heard a politician tell me that I'm going to be 100% safe. All the science I ever saw.
Heard it. It started
always
at
said-
99 and then it slowly went down to 95, 90, 80. I mean, there's videos that document all this shit. I mean, I know videos aren't the greatest
Fair.
source
If
of
your
information.
government
but
played
still.
it like that,
Our government played it like assholes.
was I'm not going to say that the U.S. government's a very honest thing. All you got to do is look up condom usage stats in the USA. Oh, wait, you can't. Because it's blocked.
Is there?
That's
is it
right.
really?
Leading government in the world, right? It's
so-
facts, bro.
Nah,
Planned Parenthood has this whole campaign on their website about that shit because religious lobbyists in like 2000 blocked condom usage statistics because people were using condoms more. Lobbying in America actually does
baby.
things like that.
Yeah,
So the
America
CDC
has its problems for
blocked
sure.
all stats related. And I'm not saying Canada's better because I really don't think it. However, I do believe that most of this shit's fueled by media claims and headlines, like what he said there. Like, I do think that it's like, I don't remember ever hearing anybody saying that I couldn't get COVID after getting vaccinated. In fact, what I did hear saying is unless enough people did fast enough, it wouldn't be like fucking proper. And then that didn't happen. And then I know for a fact I've personally gone to parties where people were just like unmasked, unvaccinated, underground shit. So like, yeah, okay, like not everyone's behaving in the whole way of. Do I know the right answer? No, but like there seems to be a correlation between partying and case spikes. Who would have thought?
Right. And it's also interesting when you see the leaders, like the mayors and the governors, all partying with no mask on, like not giving a fuck
It's
either.
like, fuck them too. Like, fuck them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they're all trash when they do that shit. Like, Trudeau's a fucking hypocrite for judging those
They all are.
influencers. I'm like, you, the guy who went on vacation in the middle of COVID while I was in lockdown and curfew and shit. Fuck you, with you judging these fucking influencers. For
These left-leaning politicians are all going to Florida for vacation because the restrictions. So you have AOC down in Florida fucking tax the rich while she's fucking getting fucked by the rich every night. Not literally everybody, but how do you think she has campaign money, folks? How do you think she has popular? I know she's great on social media, but she also is getting money from somewhere, from somehow, and she's being told what to do and what to say.
I mean,
they all are.
Your whole country's ran on lobbying.
It is, and that's what's so gross
Corporate
about this country.
big.
I fucking love this country, but there's so much wrong with how we make policy in this country, and it's fucking gross.
Yo, I just want to be clear. While it's illegal to do it in Canada, there's so many back ways that the corporate lobby in Canada that trust they do it now, right now.
I don't
So
think
worry,
any
we know
country is. I don't think any country is without lobbyists and shills and Joe Byron's. 10 messages were deleted. Oh no. Oh, sorry, buddy. Yeah, the link thing is the bot's super. Sorry about that, bud. The bot's super sensy. You know, you were talking about how the vaccines you took in school and stuff were, you know, you didn't ask any questions. And I think the big part about it is that these are very.
Well, I don't think my parents did.
No, but these are very experimental. This is a very experimental drug with a lot of fallout that's going on, and a lot of it. I think a lot of what people are upset about is that there's obvious intentions of covering up things until it's necessary. Like spreading the virus while being vaccinated. They were holding tight to this, you know, get vaccinated and and slow the spread or stop the spread. And now they're just saying the headlines everywhere are just like.
Hold on, there's even more.
I'm just saying that there's
with the vaccination. No. Like, even to further what you're saying, they were like, AstraZeneca's trash here and shipped it to Ukraine.
Yeah.
I know that because I have a team in Ukraine, and they were like, bro, it's AstraZeneca that they're offering us. Fuck our government. And I'm like, oh, say word. That's weird. They're telling me not to take that drug. And they're giving it
There's
to
entire
y'all
countries.
and offering.
There's entire countries who are like, no, we're not going to have that shit. And so, like, it makes you wonder. It's like you see all these people out in the streets. Are you saying that all these people in the streets everywhere in the world are wrong? Are you saying that all these people that are fighting against tyranny?
But I would say I think that the people I see making comparisons between us and them have no idea how different us and them really
Of course.
is. And no, it's nothing like that here compared to what it is there. I mean,
But people are in the
nothing.
streets.
I mean, we get the good drugs.
Yeah, we do.
The worst people in America get the good drugs when it comes to this shit. We are the rich people. It's like other countries that have the right, I think, to be protesting because of the fuckery a little bit more. However, like, let's be fucking real. We're first world. Like, I don't think people have perspective of rich and poor globally. I think people are really micro-focused and don't give a shit about international politics, economics, how things are going in that regard.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't get the hesitancy here as much, and except for the fact that there's shit like the Tuscany experiments and things
course.
like that legitimately
There's
can make
histories
sense
of
like,
abuse
conspiracy
all
theory.
the time, man.
My rule of thumb is when rich people are doing it, you know it's safe. That's my rule of thumb. When
Hey.
rich white people are fucking getting it, you know, like, okay, maybe this shit's not that dangerous.
Right. Well, and by
Even
the way,
in this case, the technocrats are getting it.
yeah. And I want to state also,
Just saying
I'm not against the vaccine. I'm not anti-vax. I don't like the mandates. That's the only thing I'm against. Like Bonnie just said, that Canada is going to dedicate resources to help third world countries get the fucking vaccine, and I think that's great because this country and all of our collaborators in the corporate world, and all the other collaborators, these first world countries who's decided that we're not going to give the vaccine to these poorer countries. That's some fucking garbage shit right there. So the fact that there are life-saving drugs, and this thing has shown to be life-saving, even though there's some side effects that might be a little sus, but I gotta say, my mom took the fucking vaccine. She came into contact with me when I had COVID. She brushed that shit off, and she has comorbidities up the asshole. So like, I gotta say, the vaccine does work in the beginning stages. As it wanes, you gotta get more and more boosters, but still, it does work, and I'm not going to say don't get it. I'm just going to say don't try to force people to get something that they're not comfortable with. And,
I guess the thing is that like the way that the science works is unless enough people get it, it kind of just is moot. And then a lot of people did it for like nothing. And sometimes it's like weird, but like and this is like a real philosophical question for people, but how utilitarian are you? Do you let the bad apples spoil the bunch, or do you protect the bunch and let the bad apples get like fucking cut off? Because that's the real choice being made right now.
Wait, so who's the bad apples though? Who's the bad apples?
In this case, it's the non-vaccinated, because the reality is the non-vaccinated in the science way create higher mutation rates, higher problems for this kind of shit than the vaccinated. I mean, I'm not a fucking scientist, so don't quote me too heavy on any of the logic here. I'm just breaking it down how I understand it. So to me, it's like, the way, if I'm in charge of a country now, you got this situation where you know that you need to get like a critical mass of people vaccinated, and that people are resisting, holding out, and not doing it, especially now that there's a booster that's needed and all this other shit. And then as long as people are protesting against it or not doing it, it kind of undoes all the efforts that have been done. And now there's curfews, and now there's shit. So it's like you have to punish like the whole country, the whole everybody, because of the actions of certain people. I mean, I'm not saying I have the right things. I'm not a political leader, but I am kind of trying to understand the choices they have to make. Like, I talked to a lot of politicians when I was doing interviews this year, so I guess I have a slightly nuanced perspective on how politicians think about problems and how data and stat driven it is. It isn't like they can anecdotally talk to Mike and Holden and everybody else watching this and hear what we have to think. They just have something like whatever stats are available, and if it says 83% of people want something and 17% don't, what do you do?
Yeah,
like,
no,
and all of us are going to pick the 83. Like,
and I'm
it'd be
not
weird to not.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are not against the vaccine either. I know there's people out there that are flat out like, don't get it, it's poison, whatever. But I think a majority of the people are just concerned about being forced to do something, and especially when you have the testing that's the information that's coming out of Israel right now, because they're a little bit ahead of us on all of this. And they're saying this was in the New York Times. They're talking about how the booster shots are going to become ineffective and cause mutations. I mean, this is not facts, and don't quote me on this, but this is what I'm reading. This are the things that I'm seeing. So and this is stuff coming from the New York Times.
Politicians are having the same fucking conversation we're having, to be honest, because they have the same information.
They don't fucking know either.
Like, and I think that's the thing, is people are like putting these strange ass expectations on like Fauci to know shit, but like, I mean, science has always kind of been like that.
Of course.
I mean, I don't know enough about Fauci. Allow me to be clear. Person. My whole exposure to Fauci comes from Philip DeFranco. And unless Philip DeFranco played a Fauci clip, I did not hear about Fauci, because the fuck do I care about what Fauci says? Honestly, I do not go to the U.S. government for most of my information in life. I'm just gonna say, like,
probably shouldn't.
I would rather find Europeans. Usually, I go see what Europeans think on shit. They seem to be a little more science focused than it is over here. Open-minded. It's a little more capitalism focused.
It is, and that's the part that's very obvious, is that it's very obvious that they're not offering any other solutions. They're only pushing this one thing. And when you look at profits of Pfizer, who made what was it, like $15 billion in the first quarter? I mean, do you think they're going to want to stop that? Do you think corporations are built to be like, yes, we're gonna help everybody, and you know, it's gonna be this altruistic ending. No, it's fucking like, get these vaccines in people because every dose costs this. They're fucking pushers. And so like when people think that these companies are somewhat benevolent and care about our well-being, bullshit. They brought us the fucking opiate crisis. Any company that brings us the opiate crisis does not give a fuck about your well-being. They care about a bottom line. And that's what I'm talking about.
Did Pfizer bring opiates in?
One of them. It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
Because we're watching the Disney, because we're watching like that Disney Plus show on like the fucking OxyContin things, which is wild to watch this on Disney
Plus. Let me see. Let me make sure.
And it's like it's like some other company that starts with a P that's not Pfizer that's doing the Sackler family and the Pure something whatever. Family. It's like, because I don't want to like put that on Pfizer if they
Purdue. It was
like,
Purdue.
I know
You're
Pfizer
right.
employs people. Yeah. Because like Pfizer be guarding like a factory up in Montreal and has paid people in my.
But then also
family,
here's this as well.
Put a little money.
Pfizer agrees to opioid marketing deal to escape a lawsuit by Chicago. So like, you know, they're not. It's
fair. And I said I just don't know what they did.
They're not. None of them are clean. None of them have clean fucking. They all fudge. They all fudge material. They all fudge science. They all fudge the results to get shit through. And I don't see what the evidence that's showing. It shows the same thing like, for this vaccine. They fudged the evidence. They were inconsistent.
I think it's like really fucked up that they do that. But I think that on every tier of society, we just do that now. Like it's just like the normal.
Yeah,
like
that's our standards have lowered. Yes.
Like no, but like look at music. How many times at the end of the year do you see the fake ass Spotify for review streams? Like where you're like, oh, you paid for ads and you paid for ads. Mine, it screams run it up. If you know what you're looking for, it's like we're gonna make sure you make another $20 on songs just by running up your shit.
Hey,
like, bro, it's that easy.
Run it up.
Because it's like, for the record, if y'all don't know that and you have a paid Spotify account and you go to bed, you could be helping people make actual dollars. Like we pulled $200 last year. Like that's like US dollars, by the way. It's not even Canadians.
It's worth more.
Like, you know why? Because people ran it up.
And
all you need is and if you have an Apple Music, you can run it up too. Just put it at like 2% volume. Just do not mute it. If you mute it, it will not be done. But like then you can like fucking take whatever Hot Boy Summer and y'all could collectively get Mike something in the ballpark of what? I don't know, 10,000, 20,000 streams in like a month.
Yeah, I mean,
2 months.
That's why I tell you guys, whenever new shit comes out, fucking run that shit. Like, sleep with it on mute, not with mute. But
I know it all like sounds corny that I'm describing it so nonchalantly. Trust me, I did my music purist phase where I was like, organic, there's a lot. But like, you know what the problem is that literally nobody's being organic. Not your politicians, not your business people. Like, you go to work. I'm not confessing to things I've seen at my company, but you watch work and how the corporate world maneuvers, and you see people like the biggest lie ever told is that facts don't have feelings. That was the biggest lie that was ever told to like intellectuals, because all facts are just stories. They're just democratically agreed upon opinions. If you look up the word, I looked up the word before I said that shit. And then all stats are just nominal. They're just numbers on a page. So really what happens is a person such as myself or yourself or anybody sees numbers on a page and tells a story. And that's how all data and stats are. It's literally all creative storytelling. It's almost nothing raw about it. It's just all interpretation. So yeah, if most people agree with the interpretation, it becomes a fact. That's what peer reviewed means. But that's all stats is. It's motherfuckers looking at numbers and making guesses. And then we find better guesses in the futures and shit. So like Ben Shapiro and them were like, facts don't care about your feelings. Bitch, all facts is feelings. All we do is politic for facts. That's what lobbying is. It's politicking for facts. So like, I mean, that's because I do low-end data analysis. I don't think most people know what that even means when I say it like that. But I mean, I literally have to look at lists of what we call reasons to contact. So everybody that contacts a support department, your case gets logged with the categorization. So we put like how to activate or how to use this, or at the end of the month, one of my tasks has been all year for each of the various business units in my company, look at their support contacts, find trends, and translate that into actionable takeaways that they can make so that they can improve and we can have better results. So this is a whole fucking job, and this is what these people hire. And the thing is musicians are like, oh, I hate business. So they never learn this shit. And then they're the voices. And then YouTubers, same thing. They're like artists and shit. Philosophers, same kind of crap. So you have these loud, eloquent speakers with no knowledge of that hashtag data gang shit. That's why I'm trying to push shit. Like I'm trying to make this a real thing. Hashtag data gang. Like, nah, we don't make dumb choices. We make data driven choices. We know what this is. We're not random. We know that stats is about interpretation, and the person who has the better data set wins. That's why Facebook rule everything around me. And people don't like it, but like, yo, I was reading this book, Homo Deus, by the guy that wrote Sapiens. I can't remember his name, but he wrote Sapiens, that hot book that came around.
The Israeli professor.
Yuval
right?
something. Yeah, that guy.
Something.
So like,
something. Yeah, go ahead.
And like, that whole book is about how liberalism, individualism, and humanism, as we've understood it, is deaded for the algorithm. Because the algorithm's smarter than any human, and it's true. Y'all Google Maps. You don't fucking trust yourself to look at a map. Y'all let Spotify pick shit. You know, we let YouTube recommend shit. We let the algorithm decide as much as we fucking can, and because we hate decisions, and that's kind of this weird thing. So what older people in music are struggling with is that we still crave superstardom because that's what we understood success to be. The little ones don't seem to be craving stardom. They're just down to have 30,000 fans that give a shit, and that's like good enough for them because the algorithm said that's enough. And it's so fucking weird to see this translation from I am the superior god of my existence to we collectively are amazing. And that's why the young ones is crushing in music, and people our age are actually struggling because this happened. The algorithm is now king, and the individual is kind of useless. Because, yo, I've literally spent the last decade of my life working towards replacing myself. I have to stay ahead of technology or I lose my job. Because everything I do replaces myself slowly. Every knowledge-based article I write is one less I ever have to write, one less need for me. And so then we got into automation, and now automation does filtering. It used to be someone's job to filter cases. Now a system does that. Then after that, a system sends the right knowledge-based articles by itself. It doesn't need you no more. I don't know if you've ever dealt with DistroKid support, but they use Zendesk. It's fucking wide. Zendesk has that built in.
I've never
solves your
used
problem.
DistroKid.
But like their support system is like, it just sends you the article. And if it's the right article, you never talk to a person. And I contribute to this. So I contribute to replacing myself. It's fucking weird. But that's kind of what the world is kind of like these days. And so, I don't know. I feel like I got way off track on all this shit. But I feel like people aren't following this while they're really distracted by a lot of the main conversations that are happening out there. Like, honestly, most of the pop topics that come up, I find super boring because they don't really feel relevant to where life is going.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like
what? All of this shit.
Like
you
the
think vaccinations matter, bro? You lost control when we all gave up our terms to Facebook and let social media dictate everything around us. We lost control a long time ago. It's already
so
been
just
there.
give in.
No, learn to play the game.
Submit.
Understand the rules. No, it's understand how to protest, understand how to play the game. It's like the old ways don't work anymore. We have to evolve with it. So like, yo, if I gotta like take my clothes off and become a sex symbol to sell my message, fuck it. I don't care. I'll do that. Bonnie may have issues with that, but like in general, I feel like there's a lot of things I have to evolve.
Yeah.
Well, like, I care about the communication, and I do believe that the democratic power of the youth ultimately will overtake the system because they're just wise. It's really about convincing 50-year-olds. So 50-year-olds are blinded by clout and stardom. If I have to go ahead and make a couple million to prove a point, then so be it. You know, like that's kind of like how it feels life is now. Like you just have to be like that to get even have validity. Like your net worth gives you more credence to have an opinion in life than a lot. It doesn't matter most of your other credentials. And I'm just saying for the average human. I mean, I feel like often in these conversations we speak in fishbowls. Like the people watching people like you and me are probably more already in line with our way of thinking and shit. And I find often antisocial, so outside of society types. But like when you really jump into regular ass life, man, it's super different, bro. Like people don't think like this. You really do kind of have to be like, shake that ass, get your knowledge on so she will shake that ass. You gotta, that is, like, I know it's dumb, but like, that'll get more people to like learn than if I just do some preachy shit. And it's just like trying to take the great marketing evil shit I've ever seen and just flip it. Like, fine, cool. If sex sells, let me sell with sex, but sell a different message. You'll get a bunch of half-naked girls reading books and shit, bro. Like you could just do everything. Like imagine she's sitting there fine as fuck with a book, smoking a blunt. Now it's hot. Now it's hot to read books. Like people just gotta flip shit. It's just Puritan moral society don't like my ideas. That's fine. I accept it. Middle class people ain't gonna like that shit. But like, it really would change the perception. Yo, I'm from Montreal, Quebec. This is a Montreal accent, I suppose.
It is. It really
I'm
is.
like right there from behind.
Mexican.
Yo, because when Preach came on and y'all were like, yo, it's the same
Yo.
accent. I'd never really heard that before.
I
But
know.
like Preach and I also went to the same high school, right? But like he graduated the year before I started. So like that means like seminally, like even to like almost a neighborhood level of accent that you're hearing. So like I did go to high school with a lot of Caribbean folk and it bled into it. So I do not come off like the average, I suppose, honky up in Montreal might. I have a bit of an accent to it, but it's true. Yo, I got chastised at family fucking Christmas this year over my accent. I'm like, yo, it's a character you're playing. I'm like, nah, it's just kind of how it comes out. Like, I'll be having mad serious conversations with Bonnie like this, with this is my verbiage. Because this is how it come out when I'm
This is
thinking.
how you grew
This
up,
is like
man.
how the thoughts
This
process.
is where this is your neighborhood. This is like your upbringing. This is your peers. This is everything. I feel you, man. I came up on the east
Also,
side, bro.
the
I fucking
decade of
I'll
rap, bro.
slip right into it. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm from the fucking east side, Toledo, and if anybody knows, this is like the whitest fucking hip hop fucking influence shit, but like trashy, son. Like fucking trailer park hip hop shit, son. Hip hop culture in the
Say we're Hawaiian Island ish.
Yeah,
I'll take that. Nobody ever told me that. That's wild. I
Gotcha.
mean, I have a cleaner code switch version where I get like super corporate and then I enunciate like every word properly and I kind of drop the energy down a little bit. And so when I have to do my proper work presentations, it comes off a little bit more like this, but this doesn't feel as natural. This is like the version where I have to like really force it.
Yeah, I slip in and out of shit very easily, just depending on my environment and if I'm making a point and shit just comes out. It's just like my old neighborhood just comes out. It's like,
Yo,
not that I'm
what's
fucking
actually wild
super hood or anything,
It's
but
like if I run into anybody from my high school, I fucking sound like the biggest wigger you've ever seen in your life. And it's
Can you
not like
say
on
that?
purpose shit.
Can
It's
we
like
say that?
wigger
Yeah.
with the W, yeah.
With
can
the
absolutely.
ER though, with the ER, can we say that with the ER?
Yo, because a wigger is just a white boy trying to be a thing. You're always allowed to say the things that are white boys trying to be a thing.
I suppose you're right. White people are open game these days. You could just
To
shit
be
on
fair,
whites.
white people do not make their lives easier in this. It's like white people be like open game, but then also painting targets on their back so fucking big that how could you not take the shot? Like half the time I'm like, oh, fucking white people. Because like for every like dope person, there'd be another Karening it up in some fucking Gucci mall or some shit. Like, bro, come on, black people have money too. You should know that by now. And it's like, you know, and so it's like you want to like, but then you kind of get to the point where you get it. It's not like all white people. Like when they talk white people, I've never once felt targeted because I know it's not me. It's never me they're talking about. I don't even need them to confirm that. No. So why? Like it's cool. It's funny and shit to me. It's talking about another type of person, you know?
Yeah, and we kind of went over this before where we were talking about like I mean like when you go into any of these colleges now and the youth that's coming out and you see these videos where they're kicking white kids out of the safe space and they're fucking, you know, they're telling white kids to fucking take the dreads out of their hair even though that white people have had a history of any culture has dreads, okay? But you know what I'm saying? Like when we're talking about appropriation and stuff, we're talking about the youth, and we're talking about and it's spread to, you know, millennials and such. But I mean, like when you're approached like that, have you ever been approached by like a young person who's gotten in your face about it, or when you see it, does that make you uncomfortable?
I mean, I kind of understand that young people are going through their shit. So I've had some issues with the theys personally, with the mispronouncing.
Yeah, I'm
And
terrible at it.
like literally nobody can say my middle name and it's annoying. So I get it.
What's your
actually,
middle
when I
name?
don't. Like it's Stefan.
It's
You said
Stefan.
it close.
I say Stefan.
People never say it. And every time I go live, I'm like, it's Holden Stephan Roy. Like, you can easily figure out what my name is, or you could ask, but like everyone just says it wrong. Or I get called Steven. I'm like,
Steve,
bitch, it's
Holden
not
Stephen.
Steven. Okay, like,
That didn't even make
so
sense to
like
me. It's
I
Steven.
I but I get called Steven a lot. Like, there's people like, no disrespect to the end of the week, but like big name people be like fucking not even taking the time to say my name right and shit. So I kind of get the miscategorization. I could pick any rap name in the world I want, and I would expect you to call me that on this camera. And if you use my government name, I dead the call type thing, and that's accepted. So we've been using the pronoun shit as artists the entire fucking time.
Mhm.
So why is this so hard? You know,
Well,
like
it's
some
only
some of
hard
these
for.
conversations.
I think
But back to the thing. So when young people check me, I actually just ask them questions about shit. I just kind of want to know. And then I realize young people are just like, fuck your negative old person world. We're trying to build something new. And I look at the young people shit like, yo, when I was 20, I was an idiot. I don't fucking judge them. I think they're going through growing pains and like learning how to create new lines, and there is no guidelines. And when they look to millennials for guidance, millennials pulled their pants down and mooned them.
Yeah.
So we didn't help. And
No.
I think all the fucking, not all, I think most of the ownership for why young people are struggling a lot is because like millennials are like, I want to be 21 and party instead of like trying to be adults and shit.
Yeah, we haven't grown up.
And I know it's like a generalization, but I know way too many 35-year-olds that like still don't give a shit about like being there for the youth or caring about building community. It's still like life's a party.
Yeah, that's weird.
And maybe that's not everyone.
No.
But like when you look at pop culture and you look at the way things are reflected, it feels like that is the criticism of millennials. Like we just didn't grow up. And I kind of agree with the criticism. My anecdotal experience is, yeah, no, I'm trying to be like the most adult I can be, and nobody likes me for it because I'm not fun. I'm like, life's not fun these days. Sorry.
Holden's not fun, everybody. He's so data driven.
No, bro,
can't have
I'm
a
not
conversation.
fun. Sometimes I'm wildly surprised I'm an entertainer.
Well, I mean, it's entertaining to listen
mean-
to you talk, though, about the things that you're knowledgeable about because you say it well. And that's interesting to some people. But if you're sitting here and this is how you're talking to your family at Christmas or people at the bar, then I understand where they're like, when are you going to turn this off, Holden?
Me too, bro. It doesn't turn off because it's not an act or anything. It's just me. To the core. Like,
Yeah, I would invite
it's
you.
like you take
Holden,
that-
you're always invited to wherever I'm at. You're always invited. I
No,
don't
to
even
be
give a-
fair, I do pretty well in a party. I do really bad at the lunch table and like the more like regular shit. Like at a party, I'm pretty dope because people are kind of into that character. Like people like that shit.
Of
but
course, they're to talk and like flex their brains and shit. So socialize.
But
do
like I
other-
think a lot of people aren't used to this kind of thing when they hang out with people, and like in general, it's like I don't know. I just I feel like I've evolved as a person like a Pokemon does, and a lot of people around me didn't want to evolve into the final Pokemon form of adulthood. Which, if we run it back in history, 34 is full grown adult, bro.
very
There's
grown.
0% young about 34. So I'm wildly surprised at how everybody can't handle the fact that I say 34 is old. Because it's not like grandpa, but like I'm old to a 20-year-old. And that matters to me because it's a realization of how like... Now I feel like Cartagena would be down. That always seems to be like intellectually driven and shit.
And Cartagena, goddamn it, Cartagena is a smart motherfucker. All right.
Facts. I could tell. I felt it.
Facts. We can
But
feel.
like...
Go ahead, man.
But like, I don't know. I care about a lot of things, I guess. But I feel like I also have spent a lot of time learning a lot of really weird niche things. Like, how many people really sit there and like study video game design elements through lore of Fallout and other giant franchises to understand why millions of people are addicted to them? I don't think people do that for fun, right?
I don't think so
and then
either.
when you go down rabbit holes like that, and everyone else is like honestly watching shit like you eating cake and whatnot, which is like, bro, I'm honestly sometimes low-key jelly at like people who can do that shit and just come up with these little memes and like half the little skits on your channel. Like I'm not really like that. So it's
That's
hard
just
for
not
me to
you,
come up
man.
with that kind of shit that engages people.
Dude, I feel the
But
same
like,
way about
end of
some
the
people
day,
who can just sit there
makes
and
you
talk, man, and fucking
fun.
go. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess.
Like, you a fun person.
I try.
You attract and have this energy about you that like is dope and shit.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I did not read every book in Skyrim, but I watched the video from that channel where that dude did read every book in Skyrim and then ranked them in all the categorizations. So I spent 45 minutes watching a guy organize Skyrim. Yeah. So I
What's in
did
those
watch that
books? What's in those books?
But not everything. Everything. There's romance stories, there's lore. There's some really cool shit where it'll be like, yo, and the legend of this guy and his sword was buried in the tomb. And then you walk into the tomb like fucking right over there and you find the sword. Like that kind
Wow.
of shit's dope.
Oh, that's kinda
There's a lot of
cool.
history books. It's like really flushed out lore shit. And then the fact that when you fact check it against the game, it's like legit. And then you can go watch it. Like there's this homeboy Oxford. He's not a homeboy. I never met him. He's Oxford. He does look a lot like me though. And he was smoking a cigar. And I was like, shit, man. That's wild. But like this dude Oxford basically played Fallout to death. So I've been watching him replay all of Fallout 3, like everything,
God damn.
all of the things. And like I've been watching it because A, it's interesting. B, it makes my experience of Fallout 4 more fun because like I don't remember shit all from Fallout 3, let's be real. But then it's like hearing him comment on all the visual element, the designs, the subtle details, the shit that you would overlook. To me, I feel like that's gonna make me a better artist. Because when VR comes, watch how lit my shit's gonna be.
Yeah.
Watch how like next
Hey.
level this shit's gonna be. Because these are the skills that matter now. It's like who cares if you can write a song? Everybody can write a song.
That's right, motherfucker.
So like I'd be trying to like figure out how to leverage stuff like I spent like 6 months trying to look into alternate reality games only to find out that nobody in my circle gave a fuck. Zero people. One 24-year-old I talked to was like, yeah, of course, this is regular shit. Nobody my age cared. I was like, boy,
oh boy.
it's gonna be a tough sell for a lot of my ideas.
Yeah, well,
This is why people want me at the party, because I'd be like talking about wild shit like, yo, everybody gotta be on TikTok next week, and everybody's like, what?
huh?
I'm like, yeah, let me TikTok this right now. And
Yeah.
everybody's like, what? When did you start TikToking?
I'm TikToking right now, baby. We're live. We're live TikTok. No, and in all seriousness, people, if you are a content creator or an entertainer, you should be on TikTok. But you know, that's on you. No, I
Well, here's the thing.
appreciate.
It's not
I appreciate
inherently
those
like you
kind of
should just
brains.
go on TikTok. But if I had 7 people with me on TikTok, we could get to 1 million followers if we followed the plan and if we created the right plan. And to find 7 people on TikTok fucking down to like actually do something cool has proven to be like stupidly fucking hard. Cause like everyone just Googles shit and sees what that guy on YouTube who's basically me talking to you about 5 things that you need to know about this and that tells them. And so I call that shit page 1 Google. That's the page 1 Google knowledge. Because people be like looking at shit. But bro, like that's the shit we read in like 2013. That got repurposed and re-updated and shit.
Yeah.
Like you gotta understand.
That's true.
One of the side hustles in my life has been, you give me an article. It doesn't matter what the content is. I did a whole thing on moving from this city to that city. I wrote 45 iterations of this page. Montreal to Toronto, etc. I rewrote the same page 50 times or whatever, and each time I Googled facts about the city, it was all bullshit. Shit was ranking top 3 on Google, bro. I don't know anything about fucking moving companies. I just made shit up. I thought about things. And then when you realize how easy it is, so that's another reason why I don't like a lot of the necessarily anti-vax crowd, is because I could create most of the content they send me as evidence. As in, I could literally do it. Like,
Yeah,
make that
most
video.
people
Like,
could,
psh,
yeah.
bro, check it. I'm coming live right from the hospital right now. You got to understand, I'm a nurse, right? And because I'm a nurse, I'm access to privileged information that you do not have. And here's the things that they are not going to be telling you. You've got to understand that these doctors have been lying the whole time. They are absolutely inflating the COVID numbers. Like, they're taking everything, whether it be a heart attack, whether it be something like that. I've seen it. There are tens of thousands of cases right here at this hospital that are being highly misreported right now. And that's just off the dome, bro. Imagine if I wrote it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that on these platforms, on YouTube, on TikTok, and it sucks because, well, how do you discern what's real and what's not? And that's the problem.
Allow me to be clear.
And I
if
think
you
that's
could
on
make
purpose.
the piece of content, it's probably not real. Okay, if you can verbatim produce that piece of content, it might not be real. Just gonna throw it out there.
50% of the cats have died of COVID. Birds are drones, bro.
I don't know where the birds or drones meme came from, but that's one of the most hilarious fucking memes I ever saw. 'Cause,
It's
like,
really funny.
people get wildly react to it. Like, I know that
Yes.
nobody that posts that shit believes birds are drones, but everybody that criticizes them thinks they believe that shit, and it's fucking hilarious.
It's
Nah,
not-
there's real shit on TikTok.
There
It's
is.
just hard to discern the real shit.
I get a lot of my information from TikTok, and I don't just say TikTok told me, and so there I go. Sometimes I do to Reina. It'd be like, TikTok just told me this, and she'll be like, okay. But then what I do is I go out and I look into it a little more, because you get the
Well, like,
you
I want to
supplant
be
the
like the
seed
kind of
and you go and
TikTok
grow
that
it.
provides good info kind of thing. But
Of
like,
course.
the truth is that TikTok has a low threshold for information sharing. But if you can find the right sources, like I found a dude that just does house construction shit really good. And I don't even have a house to do this construction on, but he's taught me things like how to set up load balances and things. And I'm like, wow, I don't care about this, but let me follow you anyway. So like, yeah, there are experts on TikTok, and that's what's wild. It's just that there's also fake experts on TikTok, and that's what's also wild. So it's like, fucking, how do you tell the difference? I don't know. But I think everyone should be like, if you don't have like media literacy or like training in this shit, or if you don't really, like, the best thing I recommend to people is to read your news. Stop like watching your news, because if you read your news, you can actually take the time to Google what every word means and think about it. And if you hear people like me talking, just my inflection of my voice is manipulating you and changing shit. And if I smile, it changes shit. Yo, you could read that last Malcolm Gladwell book he dropped. I can't remember its name. I think it was Don't Talk to Strangers, actually. And in that book, he's going on about a bunch of studies and shit where, like, basically the newscasters that smiled at the names of certain politicians, even if it's like this, you can like barely fucking see it situation, it kind of like
Yeah, talking to
it
strangers.
like influences the Google fucking, it influences the Google searches. So it's like the fact that all these things have been measured and they've like found them all and all these different things. It's like, I don't think people know this shit. So they make statements, but like, if you don't have this like crazy catalog of like shit to reference, to like compare against, to like add variables to the equation, it's really like hard to call bullshit, to be honest. I don't know if Montreal weed makes me speak with accent. I think being a Montreal hip hop artist for the last decade of my life makes me speak with an accent. I'm not gonna lie.
You better not lie, goddammit. You better not lie. That, man, it's the information that we're all getting, I feel like, is just being altered in every way possible. Like, I feel like, and I'm not even thinking, and like, this isn't even a conspiracy. Like, the fact that there are foreign entities that are involved in our discussions online and on social media, that those are all facts. The facts that there's certain there's spies definitely in here. There's definitely people influencing how we think and stuff. So, but I feel like this is by design. I feel like this is kind of to keep us confused and in the dark and fighting amongst ourselves, so it's easier for them to sort of take control over, take whatever fledgling rights we have left. Would you agree with that? Would you agree with the fact, with at least the idea that
I just think
that
it's
things
exactly
are by
what it
design?
used to be.
It's always been like this.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't
how
say
is it
that
different than like the church decimating information?
because at one point,
you know what changed?
Go ahead. No, I'm waiting for you to.
What changed was they like taught us to read and then flooded us with fake news. So like it turned into the same shit. Like at the end of the day.
But on such
like,
a
nothing
level,
really
on such a
changed.
massive level, because like now everybody is an influence. Now everybody can influence the news. Now everybody is something. So like, I know that people aren't by design. People aren't, people who decide to become their own blog. That's not by design. But I'm saying the idea of misinformation and disinformation, I know that's always been a thing that's been used as a tool to maintain control or to create, a controlled situation. But I feel like on this level, it's never been at this level where we can't even really trust any sources anymore. Where it's like each source, each place that we get information.
Here's what really changed. back in the day, you just believed them
Yeah.
while they fucked you. Now we don't believe them while they fuck us. I don't think people know that changed. That's the hugest
Maybe I do
change.
know.
Now we just know they lied to us. Before I talk to my parents sometimes about some of the wild shit they believe from the government, bro. Some of the wild shit the government told them was good. Bro, the government lied and said dairy was good for you. They just flat out lied because of mobsters and shit.
Yeah.
It's not even like a fucking fake news thing. The whole
Nope.
fucking food grade is a lie. So like yeah, the Got Milk campaigns, all this shit, it's all corny. So like when you think about it, like I kind of like the version today where at least the young people are calling bullshit. They are trained with the skills required. It's really just an old person problem. It's not a young person problem. We don't know how to deal with young people. They look weird to us because they be doing wildly different shit. But every time I talk to a person under the age of 25, they on some next level thinking where some of this shit is just so second nature to them. Like, yo, there's going to be the next generation of musicians that don't need the live show because they learned how to be musicians in COVID with Twitch and shit. The live show is going to be forever fragmented because young people grew up in COVID.
Okay,
like,
hold
that
on.
has nothing to do with us.
Hold on. Wait.
I mean, it's going to...
Moving Dutchman, I've never heard him say, okay, hold on. So we got to know. I got an important question. Why can't we get Pepsi Cola over here for 4 weeks already? Something happened. I remember when Andre
I have no
3000
idea what that means.
It means that probably because of all the like shipping and all the problems with with getting things around and shortages and stuff that where Moving Dutchman is, they haven't gotten Pepsi in over 4 weeks. I feel for you, Moving Dutchman. I know that how important Pepsi is in your life.
Like, the priority is the Quebec market. I promise Quebec's market is one of the biggest for Pepsi. So they're like,
it's going to Quebec. It's going to Quebec. America and Quebec. Those are their only real concerns. I remember when Andre 3000 refused to do a milk commercial.
Is Kellogg on strike? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, Pepsi is a part of
Reina,
Kellogg.
Mystique.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, I mean, you got shortages, you got strikes, you got so much, the Great Resignation, but only Pepsi Cola. I am drinking Coca-Cola Zero. Ooh, I'm sorry you had to slum it, Moving Dutchman. Sorry you're slumming it with Coca-Cola Zero.
Coca-Cola Zero is my beverage of fucking choice, bro. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
You know what? If I'm
of choice.
If I'm gonna drink a soda, it's gonna be probably a Coke Zero or a diet soda of some kind because I can't handle all that sugar. But yes, I agree. If I'm going to drink a soda, it'll probably be a Zero or a Diet Coke. I think the strike just ended, but it affected the supply chain for sure. Yeah, I bet it did. I'm sure that we're gonna see the ramifications for that for a while. Should we try to get back?
Your food price is spiking.
Yes, of course. Everybody.
Like that, because that shit's fucking me up.
It is. It's fucking everybody up, man.
Like, whatever.
It's fucking got me stopped drinking. You should, cause I'm fucking over here drinking it for you. Oh shit. I hate drinking this much coffee.
Finish my coffee, but I'm clearly like buzzing in my chair.
Me too. I'm like
I'm
this.
Some weird shit where I've been exercising more, and like. The thing about exercising more is you got more like natural energy, like physical energy, but don't necessarily got to the point where my brain be sharp and alert yet. It's kind of in between. We move in there. So now like I don't feel like I need as much coffee until I do, and then I'm not compensating and my whole body's like, oh, but we're like in better shape with energy now, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
I feel that.
A lot different.
Do you also get like once you start getting in your routine and you really start getting into your workouts and stuff, like I'm just like horny all the time, but like it's just that's just where my head's at.
Big facts, bro.
It's just like, oh god.
I think what happens is no, but I think it's even like hormonal. I think like you boosting up the muscles and shit, so you spiking up our testosterones and shit. And now like it's almost like a mini teenage rush. Like you build it up. Plus you're like. Like I'm like right now I'm like feeling that pec shit that wasn't there like a month ago.
Me too, man. I did some push-ups.
And you know that.
Look at Bonnie. Bonnie's smiling.
When you, like go into.
She's smiling.
When you go to do the deed after, you're like bringing a game that you haven't brought for a minute. You know that like the skill
True.
level
Just
of your
movement.
physical prowess
Yeah.
translate directly into the quality of the actual action that's about to go down. And so the fact that you got the spike testosterone, plus you're like, yo, I know I can pound that shit. You know, you got to go in for it. Like, it's just all you want to do. That's why you guys got to work out collectively. That's why the couples who work out together fuck more, because you can't help it. You're just because then you're like, yo, we can get a little extra cardio. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you gotta let that out, because then that starts building up on you. And me, I'm just naturally charged to fuck. So like I'm just working out is just like it puts everything in overcharge. It's not good. It's not good. I'll tell you that. It's like I do believe like
No, it's perfect, bro.
I think it's unhealthy.
I would say like I don't know about unhealthy, bro. I mean, I'm like
It's
fucking
unhealthy
like I
for
was
me.
like 285 pounds and shit. I'm
guess
telling you straight up, me not working out is fucking unhealthy. Okay,
Hey,
like
Snarf.
just the fact of a situation, like
Right. You're better off
like,
jacking
I'm
off
gonna
too
eat
much
like a
than not.
motherfucker. So I
Yeah.
kind of yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
at
better
the
off.
end of the day, it's like as a musician. Look, I don't know about other genres, but I feel like rock is kind of like hip hop in this regard. But basically, do with the biggest dick energy attracts the biggest crowd. That's how this game really works. Even in podcaster land, like you kind of have to walk in with a degree of confidence in the way that you speak, or else who the fuck is gonna listen to you?
Right.
And the one thing I can tell you about exercise is motherfuckers who stay in shape tend to do better at business because they got that extra level of fucking confidence. Like you walk in with a lot more authority. Because you can't help it. You're feeling like literally your muscles every second, like, yeah, I fucking feel strong.
Yeah.
And it's so base and shit. It's reptilian even. But as a rapper and shit, I'm supposed to be coming through. Okay, if you're in your 30s as a hip hop artist, in my opinion, you have one play: boss. You are either a boss or you're a 30-year-old rapper trying to impress people. I don't need to impress you. I'm in my 30s. I have to be able to rap. Like, if I can't drop songs, what the fuck am I doing rapping in my 30s? So I have to be interesting. I have to live a life that is in my 30s and sell that package to people. So it's like, yo, all the business moguls are like, get in shape. So I got in shape better. They're like, stack up a bit, learning how to do that. They're like, be in love. I'm like, cool, Bonnie's there still.
Got that.
And then have some level of faith and spirituality. And if you focus on those 4 domains, you will have eternal success and shit. So I just do that. But
Wait,
the biggest thing
motherfucker.
is the health. The part of that is also the mind. I feel like you got to work out the mind. So I read the books.
Read the
and
books.
I keep like this regimen. I mean, I'm like, I basically like, I'm not doing well at losing weight. I'm just exercising more because
It's helpful though. It doesn't
Man,
even matter
you know what
at
happens
some
when
point.
you also no. When you start exercising, it takes like a couple months, I find, to get over this.
Mm-hmm.
But you just like add an extra 1,000 calories to your diet. Like you don't work out an extra 1,000 calories. You just add an extra 1,000 calories because you're fucking hungry and you just want to stuff your face. And so finally, my weight is going down, but like I'm about like 20 pounds over where I was when I dropped lose weight. But the fact that I'm only 20 pounds is like to me a huge win. But like exercise and health wise, I mean, I'm a lot stronger. Like I know I can cycle 10 kilometers. I guess what's that? 5 miles or so.
That's pretty
right
good,
now.
man.
Like I could go do it. I know I can go do a 20-minute set and be moving around a bit, because really it's training for the live show and shit. Like let's be real, like the best performers are the ones that can turn the fuck up on stage. You don't necessarily have to perform your song amazing. You have to be a really enthusiastic performer, and that's the star shit. You have to have either you're gonna perform well or you're very rich and your experience is next level.
Right.
So since I'm
because
not
like
very
Big
rich,
Pun
I
and
gotta
Fat
rely
Joe
on
in his fat days, they were still getting around
different
though.
era.
It was a different. You're right.
Nah,
it's a
but it's a different era.
You're right.
Back then, people did want to watch men stand still on stage and rap at them. Nobody wants to watch that no more. Like literally, nobody seems to really, and I say nobody, and there's always rappers who argue with me and enthusiastic hip hop heads that don't buy shit that argue with me. Like they just don't support shit. They're just like, yeah, I love that. They might cop like 5 albums on Bandcamp. They'll never spin your shit on Spotify because they protest it. And like, look, there's a lot of people out there with a lot of wild like approaches to it, but like, end of the day, what the young people have told me they want out of a live show is a crazy experience. And can you blame them? They've been raised on festivals.
Yeah.
Yo, you go to one festival and a live show is shit after, you know, like everybody's at festivals. And my city is an EDM city. Everyone might think it's
That was
whatever.
jazz.
But I found out we be producing EDM stars.
That's
There was
crazy.
jazz once upon a time, and the jazz culture is like really big, but like EDM is hot. Like
Yeah,
Sonic
it's
is
everywhere.
big, man. Like there's like crazy names that come like to people that like are here. Like every summer there's this thing, Picnic Montreal, where they like run EDM concerts at like this big outdoor festival. And like I know so many homeboys in the rave scene, and guess what? They get paid. Like shit's like actually tight there. But you know why? Because like I remember
Electronique.
in 2011 and 12 when my brother was a DJ in the scene, what they were doing back then, and they built that shit up. And so like I saw that, but it was always the same kind of shit. The in shape people who put on the latest performances, the ones who really engaged with their audience, those are the ones that made it. It's not the people that stand still, because for some reason young people don't want to watch you stand still and perform music like that. No, in my genre,
Because they're movers and shakers,
in acoustic
baby.
guitar land,
Yeah.
I know for a fact in acoustic guitar land, people love that shit because hell, look at who's killing it on Twitch, bro. If you got an acoustic guitar or a synth or one of those looper machines, bro, you killing it on Twitch right now.
Get it. That's
If you rap, you best be freestyling like Harry Mack or get the fuck out is what I be
Harry
learning.
Mack, fucking, who's the guy in Florida?
And that's no
Dapper
disrespect to
Rapper?
the freestylers. No
Yeah.
Who?
Dapper Rapper? Bad motherfucker.
Yeah, I never heard of
Cubano.
that rapper.
Cubano rapper from Miami. Yeah, no, he's just a freestyle rapper. He's a Twitch partner. Thug Shells is another badass. Now we're just naming freestyle. Let's before the day gets
No,
away.
Thug Shells is cool. She's
love
Canadian.
Thug. Yeah, that's the only reason why she's cool. No, she's actually super. I just like her vibe.
She
has a
can
cool vibe.
freestyle like a motherfucker. Her DJ shit's really awesome. Her song's alright. I like her as a freestyler a lot more. I see where she's at with shit, and I really respect Thug Shells. And let's be real, Thug Shells is absolutely making way more bank off of shit, so who the fuck should I be to talk about it? She's gonna pop it. She's got her set up. She's clearly connected to like the EDM scene in her world. And like she's in a city where like she's just set the fuck up
she
to
in
run that
Toronto?
shit. Like no lie. Like she's in, it's Prairies or Vancouver. She's not in Toronto. So
she's like on the West Coast?
Like she's already, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Edmonton or Winnipeg. Like it's one of those like, oh, say word, and you're
she's in the
you,
middle.
bro. Like I can tell you, like sometimes looking like the way she looks is very advantageous in real life when you're in hip hop.
Yeah.
Is all I'm gonna say about that. Like I come in a suit and everything, bro. I play to that white shit. I walk in like the whitest, stupidest, I don't belong here motherfucker ever until I rap.
There you go.
I don't play it up as much anymore, but I used to do that a lot.
Well, speaking
I
of...
know Mike's like, can we go back to the song, please?
No. I mean, this is a good segue. I think that was a great fucking like 2-hour side conversation. Because you know what? Like, here's the thing: you got to go where the energy's at. Like, because obviously we had a lot to say to each other, and like, if we were just gonna sit there and hold back, then whatever. You know, is Holden on Twitch? Yes, actually, let's get a shout out for Behind That Suit, and we got HS. I'm such a slow typer.
I mean, it's a little confusing because it says Behind That Suit, but it says I can't change my name. I can only change the capitalization, and I'm not sacking 460 fucking followers for the sake of fucking my name. I can just be Behind That Suit.
I will be Behind That Suit now. But yes, Holden is Behind That Suit on Twitch and has a great podcast of his own. Everybody should go follow him and make sure you go and listen to his music and stuff.
Yo, there's even a chance later on today we're going to try Payday 2 in VR.
Ooh, watch out, baby. Ooh.
Maybe. We'll see how we feel later.
Yeah. Let's get back to this song so we can maybe get through it. I mean, because I'm not gonna stifle conversations that we have off of it. You know what I mean?
Nah, I can focus. I can be well behaved.
But it's not that though. I like indulged completely because I knew that because as soon as we saw each other, we went right into it, and I was like, hold on, we're like podcasting, we're not even. He's like, no, we're just talking. I was like, well, let's save that. I don't think you will lose
So hold
followers.
on, I just want to snarf. Behind that suit is more like a network in a sense to me. It's kind of like the top company, like the publishing company that is my entity that like backs me and whatever else. But it's like technically more than just me. And then as like a individual, I'm Holden Stephan Roy. But like to me, they're almost synonymous. So like it gets a little confusing if you don't know that, and I'm aware of that, and I have to figure out ways to like make that clearer to the world. But I like a little mystery too. Let them be confused for a second.
Let them be confused. Let them be confused. All right, we're gonna attempt to do this again, and again, we don't have to stick to this at all. We can just do whatever we want. I just thought it would be kind of fun.
Nah, it's cool.
So we
I'm
got
just-
never placate by the simple way, and we got day saving on display, and you were like, I don't really know what
hold
that
on,
was.
I'm trying to think about because like day saving is interesting. Like on display is clear, like clearly it's some like fucking behavior, but like I feel like it's the way people like go out of their way to like make the most out of their days in some no to like save time in their day for shit like the most mundane shit, right? Like man, I see people who be like honestly like it's a priority, and I'm not even gonna say I'm different, but like to like have a Sunday afternoon off every week to like do nothing. I'm like that's a lot of like like anyway. So they don't want to build, they don't want to whatever. I might be wrong. I might even not even know what the fuck I wrote. I'm sure I meant something. If it ever comes back to me and it's different than that, I'll let y'all know.
To me, it sounds like moral grandstanding, or how people on Facebook.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe you're right.
That's
That
how I
sounds
took it,
cool.
because the
I
meme
like
that
that
I
one
chose was that I chose this person who's saving the world and getting likes. So it's like people who like go and like help at the homeless shelter for views, for
Say a
clicks.
word. Yeah,
That's
see
what I
you're
took
saying.
of it.
I feel like that sounds better, and I'm with that because it
He's
could
like,
be.
That's better. We're going with that. That's what I took it as, and that's why I thought this was fun, because like it's fun to sort of like see what see how
Y'all might be
we
like,
interpret
why
it.
doesn't he know his shit? You gotta understand. I wrote this in October in the midst of writing a bunch of features for a lot of people, and then doing my own shit, and then I wrote 24 songs after that. So I do not remember all of
This
it.
was supposed to come out in November, guys. So everybody, you don't hold him to the fire too much. He's a busy guy with things to do. So we got past that. We get it again. And okay,
Get it and gain, no?
get it and gain. What did it say?
I think it.
Is it never play a game by the simple way? Day saving on display. Get it and gain,
gain
the
the
level,
level
in
in
this game. So
Yeah, those two bars are definitely attached to each other.
yeah, I mean that's pretty obvious. It's like bars get gains, get it.
But it's also like specific to that hustle culture mentality, right? Like everybody I know does not make what they want to make. I'm gonna be real with you. So we all have instilled in us this idea of get it and gain, or at least personally I do, because this is a little testimonial a bit. Like I started my life in the low class, like welfare shit. Not it's Canada welfare, guys. You gotta understand. I wasn't suffering, but it was poor relative to other shit. And then now I'm like comfy middle class. Like at one point, I'm not saying now, but at one point when I was a little more reckless with money, I spent more on weed in 1 year than an entire person gets for welfare on Canada at the highest level of welfare. Like elevation. It is what it is with that. So like for me, it's a little bit like, no, get it and gain, bro. Like that's all it is. When you come from where I'm at, you get this mentality where like you'll never have enough because you never know what's gonna happen and everything too expensive. And then you see that being translated into young people hustle culture. That same like, yo, we too poor, we can't have it. Let's get it and gain, bro. It's all we got.
Yeah.
That's the level in this game.
That's the level in this game, baby. All right. We're going. Stuck on a repeat again and again and again. Maybe we should go forward to see if that connects.
No, that's related to that. That's
the
related
last-
to what we just did.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like, yo, thanks, mighty.
Mighty. Thank you, buddy.
But like, so, because that's the thing is like, once you get into that mindset, it's never enough, right? It's just never enough. I haven't been satisfied by my wins. Like even today, I was like having trouble getting excited that like another song's coming out. I'm like,
Here it goes
Mike's
again.
like, promote this shit. And I'm like, oh my God, another thing to promote. Like, 'cause, yo, it's like the dopamine rush off of dropping a song diminishes over time. Do I love it? Yes. Am I excited? Yes. But like, honestly, it took a little more to get excited than it used to. Because after a while, it's like, what's the next level? I got to get it. And that's what kind of happens. And so again and again and again, and you do it so often. And then that's also the lyric for people to sing along.
Yeah, and that's where the bass sort of drops too. And I like that you chose to like sort of build on that point, and sort of like we can kind of listen to what you sort of do with
also, in Hebrew, you say something 3 times to slap in the ultimate form of expression, and I like to play with repetition because hoity-toity Puritan rappers make fun of it, but it's arguably some of the best form of songwriting in history is really repetitive. So I like to play with repetition a bit.
Yeah, drumming, drum beats, from our roots, man. That's our roots, is like drums and hitting stuff repetitively, coming up with a little rhythm, and just going for it. That's in our DNA, yo. All right, let's listen to how he uses these words and stuff and he uses it off of the beat itself.
Level in this game start. I'll repeat again and again and again. Sure, there's always change.
So just so you kind of get an idea, so that was like a breaking a tension point, bringing in the bass and bringing the whole beat together, and he sort of used that tension and to build with his words. That's what I took. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but that's how I interpreted it.
I'm certain that like I would describe something different, but it would be the same thing because like I never cognizantly thought about it. But I mean, probably like my instinct took me there because it felt like if a beat changes, you need to adapt to that change. Otherwise, I feel like you're not really in synchronization. I try to treat it like I'm jamming with you.
Right. And you are. And that's what's so cool. And like your advanced cadence is so like it's so advanced. I'm trying to learn the song so I can perform it. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to learn it, and I swear to God, I'm having the worst. I'm not a rapper, first of all, and if I do,
just listen for where I breathe. That's the first thing. Is find where I breathe.
Well, and then where
you go from there.
You're emphasizing the word, like certain words, you'll emphasize an end, and you'll end a phrase so weirdly, And I'm not trying to shit on your cadence at all. I look at it, I equate it to jazz musician because it's like it's out there for me. You know what I mean? Like I feel like high level rappers are basically jazz musicians who are bouncing off rhythms, and even the mumble rap kids who are fucking that's not even the new shit anymore. And that was like a form of jazz.
Like people be like hating on that triplet shit. Mm-hmm. Yo, it's some of the hardest flows to like gotta be coming together, but rolling together, but bro, it's some of the hardest shit to like really flow on and like really write, but it's actually way more versatile than people give it credit for. And Zamanel's like there, preach that shit. But yo, it's like Zamanel actually flat out was like, bitch, if you're gonna do, you didn't say, I don't know why I'm saying that so often. I'm in my, I guess a little bit playing it up, but like he's like, if you do triple flows, you have to make it look easy. Like there's levels to it, and he's right. Like you can, even shit where like people think you have to start on the 1. Nah, you could just start on the 3rd, right? Yep. Like you don't have to, and then you get all this breathing room. But the thing about triplet flows is it's almost like you're building up your own punchlines, and then the ad-libs and the spaces you give for it matter so much more. And so everyone's so focused on the bars and the brabbity, they're missing the songness of it all. Yeah. And so mumble rappers, which I hate the term because frankly, they're just more melodic trap artists. That's really what they do. They make melodic trap.
Okay.
Anyway, like, they don't mumble. A lot of them use southern drawls sped up, so it sounds mumbly. And if you really slow it down, they're actually very clear. And I think Northerners call it mumble rap because everything Southern sounds mumbly at a certain cadence. And I do think that's a real thing on how the term came up. Because, hip hop, all this shit's fucking New York. Of course they're going to call it mumbling, but really they're not. And then, like, a lot of them are super musical. Like, really musical. Like, they add these notes and melodies to their delivery that, like, when I started trying to emulate some of that, I got way better. Yeah. Because they really understand how to use their voice as an instrument in a way where a lot of guys who can write with the illest pen game could never deliver it like that. And so they're never going to be interesting as a musician. They're just rappers who rap well.
Well, and there's something to be said about that as well. But it's like, I feel like now the rap game is so saturated, and there's so much talent in it, and there's so much garbage in it that you really do have to have something that sort of stand out. You know, like you really do have to have some sort of bring something original. You know, that I feel like that's why you know
You don't
think so?
original is an overrated concept. You have to be hella authentic.
Okay,
is
what does
what I
that
believe.
mean? What does authentic mean to you?
I mean, I think people live very boring lives. So a lot of people are really authentic in
Sorry.
hip hop,
Yeah.
but like they're so fundamentally what they've done with their life isn't impressive or interesting to a lot of folk. So they'll rap about how they're on the rise to greatness, but they'll do it in a way that just feels familiar or feels like whatever. I don't know, bro. I've gone to Pakistan. I've been to Israel. I got to like a few crazy experiences. I've been in the game for a decade. I've gotten experience, like real life experience. My brand is completely based off of a hybrid of my real life and everything I wanted in life. So like it's really principled, and I found that like, okay, let's compare it to writing. I'm reading about Hunter S. Thompson, and it's an oral history, and they're describing how in his early works he doesn't have his voice yet, so it's kind of trash, and he knows it.
Yeah.
He can't figure it out. I feel like a lot of people are like that. They know how to emulate work they've heard, but they don't know how to speak with a voice in rap. I'm very comfortable in saying it would be very hard for people to write a Holden Stephan Roy song, to like write in the way I do, not from a style, but like part of it is the weird shit I say.
Yeah.
Part of it is the weird blends of my personality that when you see me on Facebook after, or you hear me on this podcast, yo, you go listen to my freestyled songs. It may as well be this shit rhyming, like there's so much congruency that it creates this authentic brand. Because is it fully me? I mean, nah, off camera I'm a little whatever. But like in general, if you hung out with me in person, anybody that has can attest to the fact that this is what you're getting. Now, a lot of people in music, I find that when you meet them in real life, which as an interviewer, you get the stories of musicians, bro. That's what I do. I collect that shit. Your interview is a little abstract. But like mostly it's the stories of creative professionals. And I come to realize that when you listen to the bars and you look at the energy of a lot of people and you listen to their stories, it's just people are so focused on the skill element of rapping that they don't fully understand the brand. But this isn't just like a rap thing. I'm gonna guarantee you it's a rock band thing too, bro. Especially that's why so many people rely on covers for fame. Because any criticism I could make about this, it's the same thing in EDM. It's the same thing everywhere. And people really don't understand that authenticity requires you to live a life. Okay, it requires you to be true to yourself. But then if you want to make it in music, you kind of actually have to go be more interesting than other people. Because end of the day, you're selling to people at work and shit that are trying to escape their life through your life. Nobody want to hear about a 30-something-year-old guy that hasn't done shit. I'm not kidding, though.
Like, I know you're not. That's what's so funny.
But, like, why would anybody want to listen to that? Like, for real. Unless you're, like, right knee-deep in the middle of that community. Why would you want to listen to that song? I had to learn that lesson the fucking hard way. I know for a fact a lot of my older music is, like, okay, nobody want to hear that shit. I have a few of them I'm lucky. People want to hear that shit. Usually the love stuff ended up aging well. The I want to make it stuff, okay? When I was in my 20s, it was like cool energy. If I write it exactly the same now, I don't know. Who want to listen to that? That's how I see that shit,
Yeah. Well, I mean, but you definitely have kids who are like in their 20s who are making, who are doing really well with a whole bunch of life experience or little life experience, but are saying things, but are reaching crowds and reaching fans. And I mean, it's a young man's game, right? Like I would say the rap game
it's not.
Not anymore? You don't think so?
It's the tastemakers be old, but young men hustle. One thing that a lot of people neglect to mention is income sources, right? Let's be real. if you are not making at least $50,000 a year, you're probably going to have a very hard time doing the shittiest shit in music. Unless you're connected. Why? Because, gear alone, it's going to cost you $5,000 over time. A computer, this much money. Multiple screens, this much. Oh, you have to buy all that shit if you want to have this life now. The new phone. Why do you need the new phone? Because the camera's iller than buying a fucking GoPro also, bro. It's like you got to start looking at it. Then you got to know how to be cheap about it. Then you got to like figure out a lot of stuff. Young people just don't ask questions. They fucking run their shit. They understand what they got to do, and they just go out there and fucking get it. And that's something I really respect. And so they're not arrogant. They're like, okay, so I got to trend hop till I'm hot. Okay, cool. I'll make the shitty music. I'm 18. I can just say I'm 18 after. And then at 25, I can make good music. Even Justin Bieber, like as much as he's kind of weird lately with his, I don't really want to make music, but I want to be famous money he's doing now. He clearly became his mid-20s and he dropped Believe, which is arguably an amazing album.
Yeah, it's a great album.
And that's what happens to artists. They do the shitty shit when they're young, and then they set for life to do what they want. And I'm going, that's smart. That's just genius.
What about the people who blow when they're young, and then as they get older, they suck ass?
I mean, not everybody's supposed to make it. I know that's also kind of rude.
But I'm saying even the people who do make it, like their first 3 albums are fucking. I mean, I know artists that were like the first 3 albums are fire, and then it's just all shit after that. Icy Music, hey, thank you for that follow. Thank you for coming over and saying hi. I really,
what's up, Icy Music?
Really enjoyed your stream. I think that you're fucking hilarious, and you're a pervert. And I think
what an introduction.
No, I'm just kidding. You're not a pervert. That was so rude. I'm so sorry, Icy.
I'm like, sheesh, that's my first impression.
I'm so sorry. You're not a pervert.
Icy, it makes me want to come to your stream more.
Icy, can we get a shout out for Icy? Icy is dope. I invited Icy onto the show, and I'm sure she's gonna be like, well, pass. I come in and he calls me a fucking pervert. What an asshole. Wow, I'm such a dick. I'm sorry, yo. I'm so sorry. I hope that you don't hate me now. In any case, welcome.
Nah, you're just unapologetically you, Mike.
I know. I'm apologetically me. I'm apologetically me. I'm constantly apologizing for the stupid things that come out of my face. Because they come out so frequent. Like, if stupid things didn't fall out of my stupid face constantly, then I wouldn't have to apologize for the stupid things that fall on my stupid face. So here we are. You're so kind and funny, and you're a sick pervert. Yeah. I'm sorry. It wasn't that you're a pervert. That was the wrong word. Listen, fuck your life, son. It wasn't that. It was the farts. It was maybe you just, you know what? It's the potty humor. It's the toilet humor that I enjoy because there was nothing but farts and good songs and good times and good vibes. Let's all just forget that Mike called someone who just followed and a potential guest a pervert, and let's just say Icy's the shit. Everybody go follow. Hey!
I followed AC if it counts.
It does.
While Mike was trying to talk himself out of
there's no.
But don't worry, Mike.
I dug it.
If it counts, I do the same thing all over my life, bro. All over.
Let's get back to this fucking song because
Bonnie has made it clear that we are similar like that.
Deranged is my okay. Thank you, Icy. Deranged. Icy has a wonderfully deranged stream, and it's just all encompassing. Moving Dutchman. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you. Jeez Louise, Moving Dutchman. You're just wonderful. Love you, buddy. I love you, buddy. I don't know what Holden's doing. I think he's standing up. I think his pervert is Mike's preferred pronoun. Yeah, actually my name as a younger man used to be called Merv the Perv because I used to just say awful things all the time, and so I think Holden is getting a little more comfortable. He's standing up.
Nah, I was like, fuck that. I'm standing up. It's probably better for me.
It is better.
My Mike Steinweyer's being a piece of shit.
Yeah, and I'll sit here like a piece of shit too. And I just thought you're getting in a better position to smoke your joint. I was like, this guy clearly needs to stand to smoke. He smokes at that quantity. That standing is the only way we can get this done.
Nah, I just be trying to not sit 9 hours in a chair type thing as much in my life because I'm like trying to stretch more and do all the fucking things,
Yeah.
all of the healthy things we're supposed to do. Because I'm like, I want to be 40, limber, and looking great.
Okay, sure. There's always change. I think this goes into the.
Yo, you should definitely do the next line after because I feel like that's a setup line.
But apparently, the dailies left with less change. So
And run the next line because I don't remember it. I feel like this all the time.
as the AI behaves based on dive duck. Okay, so we just
So cool, yo, I think we gotta do all that together. So it's sure there's always change, but apparently the daily's left with less change as the AI behaves based on every play made. That would all be like together.
okay. The interest among
That's
us.
all after it. Like I'm just gonna let the whole song.
No. Well, because I mean, if that all goes together, because it kind of leads into something, right? Because the
Yeah.
currency accumulates. I mean, like we're building some. You know, these are. Okay, so with those few lines, what can you tell us about your work, Holden?
Yo, cause like everybody's focused on this like alleged change that's happening in the world, whether it's happening or it's not happening. Change happens generationally, right? Like that's the history of life. Like everything kind of takes forever and shit. And then while everyone's like kind of focused on that, the daily's kind of not changing as much in that, but the AI kind of shapes life based on every action that happens as it kind of flows on. So while we're all focused on what's changing, like the AI is just like shaping us, and the AI being the almighty algorithm.
Right, and we were talking about this earlier and how this algorithm is I mean we're getting to that place where it's going to be we pray to Google, like they are the all knowing at this point.
Already, I believe that Google, Facebook, Amazon, and fucking Apple are more powerful than any individual government on the planet.
I would probably say you're right because Amazon, I mean, look what Amazon did to Parler. They just took it offline. They're just like, Parler's gone now. And if anybody doesn't know what Parler is, it was it still is. It's a right-leaning platform that values freedom of speech. But Amazon actually deplatformed. They took it off their server, so they completely took a website down. And so when you're talking about that much power, that you can just take a website down, a government's website, you can just eliminate. You can just eliminate the health and services, the emergency services websites. I think you're right, Holden. I think you're absolutely right. The amount of power that's held with these companies is unprecedented and beyond. You look like you're about to rap, dude. I'm sorry. You look like you're about
I just had to stand up. But I don't know. It's that like working out energy, bro. Like after a while, you're just like, I gotta stand up and move for a little
I feel you. I'm gonna be moving around a little bit after this, if I don't die of COVID first. Icy. I saw Icy was recovering from COVID too. Good news. Icy lost her voice, but is getting it back, and Reina is going through the same thing right now. So, Reina, just so you know, Icy came back. You can too. You can too. I'm going to put a Brules in just because Icy went out, stopped in the middle of her song and was like, is that a Brules? Is that a Steve Brules emote? And I was like, yes, it was. I was like, we are destined to be friends, Icy. We are destined. And then I called her a pervert as soon as she walked into my stream. Hey, welcome. I'm a fucking asshole. Hey. All right.
Nah, Mike, you're charming.
Yeah, so charming. So charming. That's how I got my wife.
You're one of those guys that can get away with that shit. If she walked into my stream and I called her a pervert, I would be like in not the same position after. Like you are just able to. Some people can just be that dude. Not everyone can
what,
be.
Some people can just be assholes? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because here's the thing. You're like lovable. People believe me.
Yeah.
That shit's like, I'll be like, yo, I'll say some shit and they'll be like, that was astutely accurate. Why did you insult? I'm like, nah, I can't use.
Yeah, you're analytic. You're analytic, and I'm more like, let's just skip to the fucking good part, baby.
Yeah, you're the fun guy. People love that shit.
The fun guy. I've been considering it. Make sure you get. Oh, face steamer. Oh, that's a good idea. Anna Lickett. Funny and charming. People can't get away with anything.
Facts. Smart and charming people can talk their way out of anything, but they don't get away with it.
No, they do not. They do not get away with it. They do have to pay in the end, and I have paid, and I'm still paying. And after this podcast, I'll be paying more. Okay, so as the AI, so that
Moral
was
of the story is don't infect your wife with COVID.
Listen, it was because I got a job working with the homeless. I was working with the homeless, goddammit. I was helping my community. Okay? Sorry. Blatantly infect that. No, I didn't blatantly. I did. What the fuck are you talking? I did not come home and just start coughing on you.
You started yelling, and we became 3% Mexican.
What the fuck? How did we become 3% Mexican? How are we still becoming more Mexican? How is this happening? This is amazing. We just becoming more Mexican as we go. This is unprecedented, folks. We are living in a new era of this show. I swear to you.
Yeah, the next line, the next part.
Next line.
No, I thought about it. I have it open. I'm making sure I know.
Every playmate.
No, it's as the AI behaves based on every play made, dive duck out of range. Right.
Eliminates. Accumulates. All right, so.
Okay, pause that. That shit's about Facebook and Facebook jail.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's all that's about. Because, like, I be watching old people struggle like motherfuckers. To be fair, I'm gonna make a confession. Don't drink in Facebook. Because I got drunk the other day, and I went on Facebook and I said, if you're Metro, don't trust it, I'm gonna shoot you. I got a warning, because that's a threat. That is an actual threat that I made on Facebook without thinking about the terms and conditions. However, in general, motherfuckers be in Facebook jail. Like, it's like, I'm bragging. I got my 30 days. How do I get around saying shit? I know people who make up coded language to say shit now. Like, and then Facebook figures that shit out. And then, like, it's kind of like, let's go, Brandon. Let's be real. I didn't know what that meant. Now I do. You know, like, that's kind of how people be on Facebook. So all of that there is really just about that shit. Because if you don't do it right, if you don't dive duck out or come on, dodgeball, dive duck, dive duck. Anyway.
So wait a second. So dive duck. What was the meaning behind dive duck? Because I thought that I took that as someone burying your head in the sand, like an ostrich burying their head in the sand. But what
I
is?
was thinking about dodgeball, the movie, dive duck, and like people be trying to dodge the wrenches. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. And it's Facebook's algorithm throwing wrenches into your fucking day. And you're trying to dodge that because if they kill shot you and they snipe you on that fucking shit, now you in Facebook jail, etc. And then the next line kind of is a little detached. The currency accumulates, but in a sense, reputationally speaking, it does. Like, my account's stained. I fucked up. Like, there's a warning. I gotta be extra careful now about everything I write.
You gotta be extra on Facebook, folks.
It's like once it flags you one time, it knows you are somebody to watch. People get away with shit because they never got flagged. That's what happens.
I've never been flagged on Facebook, and I've said some outrageous shit on Facebook. Oh, baby. But fuck Facebook. I have been moving away from Facebook so hard lately because it's just been failing me. It does nothing for me anymore. It's like literally, it used to be a place where my podcast would get some attention, but like now with the new whatever algorithms they got going, it's all paid for now. It's all pay to play. If you want any kind of attention towards anything diverting
Facebook
from the
is
site,
like
you're fucked.
A community tool. So I use Facebook solely for the fact that there's a good 500 people in the English Montreal hip hop scene that actually are connected via the timeline. Not so much via groups, but none of our artist pages do shit for us, but all of our actual profiles are connected, and I've gotten everything off. I got onto the top 10 Cult Montreal list of podcasters because people just saw me going live on Facebook all the time. So all I have to do is go live on Facebook all the time. I never left people's minds. People are very aware that I got free engineering. I got so much shit by playing organic Facebook, which is be a thought leader and be present and shit. Like it's like I wrote a 1,300 fucking word essay for my New Year's Eve summary. It got read by like 20 people. People
fine.
act like people don't read shit, but people do read shit on Facebook. You do have to be interesting. That's a whole separate conversation, but I've spent the last 9 years of my life learning how to write to the audience I write to on Facebook. I went from really awful Facebook posts to like, I really like reading your shit even if I don't fully understand it. And like Bonnie can see shit like that come in. Like people are wild. They don't give a fuck about my music, my podcast, but they'll like read my Facebook posts. That
Maybe you should
it's a
turn
real-
that. Dude, I know somebody turned that into a full-on book and made money off it. You never
I'm
know.
gonna use TikTok for that now. You want to fucking get my tidbits of shit? Follow me on TikTok at Behind That Suit, and we get it on.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get Bonnie. Can you drop a link? I'm just too goddamn lazy.
Yeah.
I want to
Lazy
get
Mike.
through. I want to get through this fucking song before the
Nah,
night
it's cool.
is
We
over.
got it, bro.
We're
I got it. I got all day.
Well, yeah, unfortunately I don't, and fucking we're supposed to do the thing. I don't know if Reina's actually gonna do Famera, but that's gonna come up at 4. So we'll see if Reina has the energy to do it, but I'm not sure if she's gonna feel up to doing it, which is totally fine. Okay,
I
so
won't be shocked if it takes an hour to get through the rest of the song.
I wouldn't be either, which is fine. This is what I was talking about. This is what I wanted, was us to kind of like be able to walk through the tune and you know, kind of talk about it and dive deeper and stuff. So this is perfect.
Interest among us, the club reluctant and sus, the trust busted up as much.
Okay, so the club, reluctant and sus. The Among Us, I just had to throw
because
in
it's like the compound the interest among us.
Okay,
right?
let's go
That's an
back.
important line because anybody that plays Among Us knows what sus is.
Oh,
right?
so okay.
It's an Among Us bar.
Oh, so I was right to put in an Among Us thing.
Yeah. That's like an Among Us bar. So the club reluctant and sus. But it's also a commentary on how if you watch what Among Us will do to a social group over time, that's what Facebook has 1984'd us into. So now the club is reluctant and sus, and the trust is busted up. So the trust no longer exists. As lungs muster up, so lungs come up with the shit, blubberings, what about us?
Yeah.
That's kind of like all tied together.
Okay, is What About Us another reference to? I like that too, Bonnie. I heard that too.
The club reluctant and sus, the trust busted up as much. Must have brought
So I'll tell you what I took.
So the what about us kind of ties it back into more like breaking out the metaphor of the Among Us and back into bigger society and the whiny nature of the what about us crowd,
Yeah.
which is more what about me, but it didn't rhyme.
Yeah, and then
Sometimes you make it rhyme.
because like and then like breaking up trust and the compound. When I was going through this, I was just like, you know, the club's reluctant to let in anybody who's, you know, because in fear of the trust being broken up because of all these big bank trusts.
But
And
like,
Theodore
and
Roosevelt.
simultaneously, it
Go ahead.
is broken up. Like the trust is broken up, but you're right. Everything you're saying about the club is like that, bro. You know how many girls be like, I have trouble trusting men because, or the other way around. It actually works both ways. So people of all gender affinities being like, I don't trust people of all gender affinities simply because that person from my past hurt me and now that trust carries over and hashtag PTS. And I'm not making fun of this. This is more of this kind of mentality, I believe, whether it's right, wrong, and I do believe we need better systems in place to manage all of our emotions related to this, because I think a lot of us be going through it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And like we have trouble just trusting each other off of this like trauma that we've all gone through. All of our trust is fucked up, and that's why the club's reluctant and sus. But it's all like fucking Among Us, and it's also because the currency accumulates. That's going to tie back into the last line.
Yeah.
It's all about money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that is another layer to this. That's why it's the first and the last line of that breakdown.
Yeah, and then for me, I kind of took it as that, and then Theodore Roosevelt was like one of the first presidents to kind of come in and break up these bank trusts in history. So I was just like, you know, we'll throw in a little Theo. You know, I know that's not shit to you and in your time, but you know, America, baby. So the funds don't stay flush when spilling abundance, which I ended up using as part of the hook because I really enjoyed that. So can you kind of go through that? So that those two lines there.
Motherfuckers don't stay rich when they spend.
Yeah. Yeah, and when spilling abundance and you know, I
So
even
I
go
guess
ahead.
it's like it's also partially. Well, I fucked up the way I said the word to make it rhyme. Like that was on purpose. Like
Oh,
that's just
good.
a flow thing. But like as far as the concept goes for me, it's like what's really hard about the middle class is how much money you have to waste doing stupid shit to impress people in the middle class to try to get into the upper class. And that's some
Mm,
real shit.
that is.
Like you have to go to 5 cassettes at work or you don't get promoted. Okay, like there's just rules to the game. Nobody explains the rules to the game. And a lot of people don't know the rules to the fucking game and it's unfortunate because it has an impact. So to me it's like a commentary on all of this shit. Like if you think about now on the social media and all the things I've like even myself right now I have to probably spend like 3 grand this year on new clothes and a bunch of other shit just to play this fucking dumbass social media game so I can walk in, boss up, show I got the ability to improve my life. And it's honestly all image because I'm not comfy like this, but let's be real, like this I'm not selling sex symbol the way I would with right fitting clothing, etc., etc., and bigger ambitions and goals. And so, end of the day, it's wild. You can't keep money the way this shit's stacked. So it's like, end of the day, the funds don't stay flush when spilling abundance, and it's all tied into everything that came before it.
Yeah. And
That's what's required to do all the shit. You have to make money. That's why it's like get your money up.
yeah,
So every successful person says that shit.
and I can also see people who I could see another level of like people spending money needlessly when they don't have it, like credit cards, debt, all these things. You
Bro,
know,
I'm so far in credit card debt, man. Like bro. When you have a high enough salary, you can go pretty far into credit card debt.
oh
And
golly,
then you can just afford that shit. So you good. You
He's
don't
like-
have a good credit score, but you
but you
I
can
regret
afford
it,
those
damn.
payments, bitch.
and I'll always be able to afford those payments because I now have the skills, the tools, and the means to make that money. It's fucking wild. So everybody afraid of credit card debt, but the level of credit card debt I accumulated, I'd say about 40% of it is dumb shit and the other 60% is not. However, I mean, come on, everybody has dumb shit in their shit. Like Uber Eats, baby. Let's be honest, we all on that Uber Eats fucking drug.
Uber Eats, baby, what's in your face?
Ah, it's the word. I'm gonna try and like make money on it with content, to be honest, because we just fucking do it, even though it's stupid. But like that's it. Like, but then if you now make money on content, because wow, what if the Uber Eats shit picks up? Now I got to Uber Eats and support this dumbass economy that I don't even believe in the first place, because I've been fucking anti Uber Eats shit on some. Yo, I like my $10 ghetto pizza, and y'all fuck that shit up for me. It's the truth of the situation. I'm just selfish like that. So like now it's like $50. Yo, bro, $50 for an 8-piece of chicken? That's a real thing now.
Whoa.
$50 for an 8-piece of chicken without. No, maybe there's a fry with that one, but like
That doesn't seem right. That's not right. That's not right.
the gentrification of the food industry via Uber Eats, baby.
No.
Some real shit.
I fucked that up. Okay, so then it's the hook. Huh. No, you can't, pizza. No, you can't. Okay, so obviously a lot of stuff going on there, and you guys can go and watch back all that. But you know, we kind of went over what king, queen, prince, slave meant, and spilling abundance. I sort of took because that originally was not part of the hook. That was I added that just because I like that. It just adds to the thugness, I guess. Spilling abundance, and then the idea
It gives me something to do on the hook when it's being performed.
There you go. Exactly. Sorry that everybody that Holden just blew your ears out. I forgot to turn it back down. So what I decided to do was like when spilling abundance, I took that as like when people it's hard to stay flush when spilling abundance, and when you see like all the scandal that's going on with the Epstein and Prince Andrew and Bill Gates and all this shit. You know, these are people who are spilling in abundance because their funds aren't staying flush because they went out and they did too much, right? They felt like they had too much power and they could just shit on people and get away with it, which they probably will. But still,
ironically,
it's that
those guys stay flush due to lack of abundance. Like, if you ever look into how these motherfuckers live their day to day, it's mad different than what they do at the macro and shit. Like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and them, bro, they be like copping $1.87 McDonald's coffees and shit. Like, they really fucking cheap.
Yeah, of course. But what I'm saying is that they've sort of they've gotten ahead of themselves. They've gotten too big for their britches, if you will. Like their funds aren't staying flush on a metaphorical level, as in their prominence and their stature is sort of being lowered. And,
So you're saying it like
because
at a
of their
moral,
actions.
ethical level, the goodness of their soul funds are no longer flush because of the material abundance on some like almost Judeo-Christian tip.
No, I'm saying more on the fact that they've just sort of let the power go to their head and they just didn't think that repercussions would ever come find them. And so they're spilling abundance and their funds aren't going to stay flush. And on a moral level,
I mean, like, because I'm like, I think they're very much going to stay flush, to be honest.
Probably,
you could break
but
up these motherfuckers' companies.
right,
And,
and there's always going to be more to replace them. But I'm just saying, like, you know, now you have Prince Andrew, who's sort of under the spotlight with this whole Ghislaine Maxwell thing. Ghislaine Maxwell was found guilty. They're hiding all this information. There's people who are scared, probably, I'm guessing. Prince Andrew, you know, the Queen said Prince Andrew, she's not going to cover Prince Andrew's money. You know, we're talking about some real deep, like, shit that leads back to Mossad type shit, you know? So I'm saying that fucking these people have become so morally corrupt that it's sort of spilled out into the public eye, and so their abundance is their cachet in the public eye. They're sort of losing
everything
it
we're kind of saying right now super ties into what the fuck the start of the next verse is. So believe it or not, this is mad relevant context.
Of course, that's what I'm saying, because in the next verse it kind of goes into it a little deper, and that's where I sort of even got any of these ideas was from the second verse.
So the whole like second verse, this is meant to be like, sometimes I like to play with time, even if it's not obvious. So the first verse is more like me in my late 20s when I'm more idealistic and ignorant. I'm a lot less ignorant now. Like, I now met millionaires. Not a lot, a couple. Still, like, there are people who've never met a millionaire. And if you've never talked to a millionaire and actually seen their logic process and see what the wealthy think, like, it's mad different. So, like, all of a sudden, it's like, I feel like as the ignorance went away, the more I saw a lot of the regular actions of even my past self as plebish. So now it's like, I'm in this zone over here where the truth is, like, if I don't fuck this up, I could be quite wealthy. Because, like, I'm not okay making money. A lot of people aren't. We're like, I'm planning ways to actually capitalize more, just because it's like, yo, I don't want to die poor and I don't have anyone to bail me out. So it's either what we make or like, maybe like stuff happens in other people, but in my exact world, nah, it's what we build and that's what it is. So it's like, in this, it's more like my current understanding of the world and reflecting on the society that's based off of long term of that first perspective. So the thing is most people, I mean, it's a little arrogant, but like, I'm now in this perspective of looking back at the people I used to be, and that's where that first line kind of comes into it.
Okay, yeah.
So like
that's deep, baby. That's deep. All right, well, let's
like to like marinate on song. I'll get stoned in the shower and like think about a concept until like it's where like it feels like I can write 2 full verses on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what's great about, you know, creativity and how it comes to you. It's just like you can sort of sit on it, ruminate, you can let it sit and let it build, and then you can sort of strike when the iron's hot, right? It's like if you're getting high, taking a shower, and an idea spawns, and then that idea
Best ideas, bro.
That's the same way for
Best
Reina.
ideas.
Reina is the same way. She has all her genius ideas in the shower while high as fuck.
Because like the shower is a time where nobody fucking with you. For me, at least, it's highly correlated with music. And it's like, yo, there's something to the therapeutic nature of water fucking with the electromagnetic field of your body. I don't know enough about it, but I know that's a real thing that you all can investigate and know more than me on. And so I feel like it puts you into this almost meditative, like in the rest of the world's kind of fucked up, but in the shower, bro, like you can do anything. You could, I don't know, and the acoustics, so good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Singing in the shower, man. I remember seeing a Bill Nye the Science Guy explanation on this as a kid, and I can't remember what he said, but it had something to do with that it gets the enzymes. I don't remember. I'm not even gonna pretend like I did, but I've seen it because there is an actual scientific explanation of why you seem to get more joyous enough to sing and have that energy to think and stuff in the shower. There is like science. People have studied this to some length, so it's interesting shit. You know, why is singing in the shower so prevalent, and why is good ideas in the shower so prevalent? All right, to the next line, to the chorus, or to the second verse.
In a different home, locked in and hidden on the plebs won't leave it alone. The stings they'll never even know the
Yeah, I guess that's probably good.
Should we back up, or how is that?
Nah, that's cool. That's good. That's a good part. Like in a different home, locked in a hidden zone. So you know what happens when you elevate? You're in a different home and you're locked in some new shit. Because all of a sudden there's two worlds in your life. There's the world you were in, and there's all the people that are in front of you telling you how to get to this next world. And so you're almost locked in this hidden zone because all of a sudden you understand like gatekeepers gatekeep. That's what happened to me this year. I never understood gatekeeping, and I don't support gatekeeping. But for the first time in my life, I'm almost like, okay, say word. There maybe was a good side to A&R and labels filtering out the people who have no desire to put the work in. Not the talent, but the humans that have no desire to. So anyway, so then it's like, then you see all these people still chasing that shit. They're not getting it. The plebs won't leave it alone. There's things they'll never even know because people are so blind by whatever they're caught up on. Like, look, bro, all I did was read a shit ton of books, humble my arrogant self out, and say I'm probably fucking trash at everything in life. And about 10 years of saying I'm trash at life has me less trash at life. You can ask Bonnie. I fucking leave the stove on. I do all kinds of trash shit. Like, I'm not like the best human. I fuck up with people. I like insult people by accident. I do all kinds of dumb shit. I'm just self-aware. So it's easier for me to improve because I know I'm wrong. And I have to consider what I did wrong in every interaction.
Yeah.
And so that helps me. Is it doing it? Hold on.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Thank you, Zolmanol. Try to say your name right. I'm not good at it. We speak English good. Oh shit.
Yo, Zamanel, we need people like you. Zamanel.
Just call me.
I call him Zamanel.
Zamanel.
I just can't help it. I heard I don't know. That's just how I say it now.
What's up, Zed? Don't spend any effort in pronouncing my name. It's too late. I already have, but now we're calling you Zed because that's tight.
I like Zed.
I like Zed too.
It's mad Canadian.
It's very Canadian.
But yeah, I think Lemef said Zalmanel at one point, and that stuck with me. And then, it's what it is.
The paranoia grow with their capital.
Okay, so that comes with some other shit. So that's both with social clout and everything. And this is even myself. Like, so now when you're in this next zone, you're seeing all these other people out there. The one thing that happens is paranoia grows. The more knowledge you get, the more paranoid you are. The more money you get, the more paranoid you are. The more people in your life, the more paranoid you are. So as your capital in any realm of life grows, you get more paranoid. And I don't know that it's actually deeper than that.
Freedom, baby, let it ring.
Sing the song that fueled the soul. That shit was inspired by you.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Because of like, you're like, this is not like a disrespectful statement, but like the freedom, baby, we American, we got to go out there and speak off free speech, all of that shit, right? And it's really not just you. It's like a lot of people. And the thing is, I think a lot of people just get like into that and it becomes like this thing and we're all chasing it and we all think we know we're right and no one really knows the right version of this. So it's like the one that no one barely knows. I don't know if we got there yet. Yeah, that's where we're at.
The one
so
that
like freedom, baby, And this is even back to our stats conversation and our like interpretation of media and shit. And as you know, you rise up, you know, like everybody that I know that's at my level or higher in the Montreal hip hop game has a different version of how we should all make it to the top. We can't even agree on a social media communications app together. See what I'm saying? Like the one that no one barely even knows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just shooting in the dark here. We don't really know. I know what's worked in history, not personally, but like historically, and you know, I'm just sort of going off that momentum, and I would hate to see what America has built. You know, I know it's a lot of shit that we've built, but we've also built a lot of amazing things too. So that's why I'm all about it. But I did kind of pick up on that. I did kind of pick up that you were sort of hitting on that American mentality, and maybe even in the way I
but
think.
It's not, yeah, that was a little like, because you gotta have a little jab at your producer sometimes. But it's not you. Like, to act like it's not all over my English Montreal Facebook scene or across Canada.
Of course, there's people
Europe.
who are proud of their
if anything, I think the UK takes that fight 3 times more serious than America ever would.
Fucking hooligans, son. Or is
like,
that
for
Ireland?
real? Like, they're the leaders of the squad. It's a bunch of UK dudes influencing a bunch of Americans if you actually look at who's running that YouTube circuit.
Well, he stepped back. He stepped back, y'all. Watch out, facts. Fucking truth bombs. All right. So good. I'm telling now. Okay, so those last 2 lines kind of went by kind of quick. So focused on imaginary goals. The one that no one
elope to prayer and swear fealty to the throne.
There we go. We're here.
So this is like an abstract way of me saying, fuck all your shitty goals. Y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about, to be honest with you. And I watch people worship shit like really it's stuff like the obsession with paid ads that like a lot of local artists and shit a lot of local artists and shit I know have. Like, they have this obsession with paid ads. And like, look, there's a whole strategy to paid ads. And I'm not one to go ahead and knock effective strategies to shits. But like, there's a lot more to it than your marketing strategy is throw some money at an ad. Like, that's not branding. That's not all the other pieces and shit. Yeah. And so that's just like one version of it. But it feels like wherever I look, man, or even go back to that middle class shit, the pursuit of the second mortgage. I don't know if you know what I mean, but here's what happens. Y'all cop the first house. Boom, boom, boom. Procreation happens. Now the second kid's there. Now all of a sudden somebody like, yo, we need a bigger house. Somebody gets promoted at work, so they cop the second house and shit, you know. And then it's all these imaginary goals. People have these goals and shit. I don't know. It's kind of where I was at with it. It's just like there's a degree of like, yeah, I know better than you, but like that's kind of what you do sometimes with songwriting. But it's like also I don't know. I just feel like I recognize how fucking dumb everything is, and I feel like there's some smarter choices to be made if you follow different circuits. Yeah, and I feel like no one wants to go there, because they're so focused on this weird ass cultural dumb shit.
Yeah, and I don't feel
that
like
traditional history stuff.
Well, and I don't feel like you're putting yourself above any of it, because I feel like that even admittedly are a part of it. You know, like you can be a part of it as well. You're not above it. But you know, I never took it as like this is someone preaching. I mean, it is kind of a preach, but it's, you know, and I never took it as like I'm above you. I
feel like I'm trying to be more journalistic with it than like attack anybody. I'm just like, this is how I see shit. Y'all can disagree with it, but this is how I see it.
Elope to prayer and swear fealty to the throne, and that could be any throne. It could be money. It could be
because like science is religion, humanism is religion, everything's religion. And then you swear fealty to that throne. Honestly, you could argue that the dogma of anti-vaxxing is just a religion.
Yeah, totally. The Q movement, the QAnon movement is a religion.
Facts.
The whole woke
liberals.
movement. Yeah,
no,
woke.
Just like being a liberal in the modern sense of what it is. Like, to be left wing is now almost religious.
It's very
weird.
religious. It's very religious. You cannot speak against the piety. You cannot speak against the beliefs of the religion, or else you're canceled. You've been canceled, bitch, for going against the Church of Wokeism. Okay, so here we go. We did that pretty well. Okay, so extol admiration while rolling over. Wait a minute. Oh, dude, did I repeat a line?
No, you didn't. You didn't. You were good.
All right,
You're
hold
all
on.
good. So it's after the swear fell to the throne, extol admiration while rolling over. The doggies hone in, get to robbing. So basically, this is where people start doing that fucking weird ass praise shit and obsessiveness over and like so now you've picked your idols, I guess. Oh, that's I guess part of it. Keep in mind, I'm remembering some shit I wrote months ago. There's a degree of idolism with the swear fealty to the throne. So people pick these like weird idols and shit, and then like look, man, the way people dick ride people is fucking wild to me. So when you watch the dick riding and shit like that, it's kind of, and that's in corporate land, that's in like Facebook land, bro. Like everybody's like, give me attention and shit. I'm like, yo, I don't. Anyway, that's just some shit you see, and you just can't say names and whatnot. It's what it is. But like, you kind of watch how that happens. So it's like extol is a religious term for expression. That's kind of like I wanted to keep that in with the prayer. So
Yeah.
extol is that admiration. That's what they do while they're rolling over because they're just a bunch of fucking pussies. No offense, I don't like to use that word. I'm really ranting. A
Pussies
bit, so
can
sorry
take a
for
lot
the
of
word.
beating. A pussy
That's
can
why
take a
I
beating.
should have said cowards
Yes.
because that's what I tried to say instead of that word,
Yeah.
but it came out. So I apologize because I really don't like using that word and it's not correct. At least in that context. Fuck a pussy, lovely context. Pussies are cowards, bad context.
Yes.
I'm just
Pussies
pussies
can take
are
a beating,
cats, good
son.
context.
Yeah.
Facts, they're really tough. We should call them testes. They be like little fucking testes.
Yeah, yeah. If you can push something out that's bigger than, it's like no, that
Yeah.
those things are built for tough, and probably tougher. Anyways,
That's
please.
where the doggies hone in. That's when the real ones come and take their shit. They get to robbing. The zone where hobbyists get bodied. Because a lot of people are hobbyists.
So bodied, you meant death, or at least getting taken
Well-
advantage of, or of some kind of way.
Kind of, yeah. We're like, look, your career as an artist gets bodied because you're a hobbyist in a game of fucking like people that are down to take what's yours.
Yes.
Like, we're all friends, but we're all
assassins, yeah.
competing for the same shit.
Right.
So if you're a hobbyist, you're not going to do what you need to do, and you're going to get bodied in the big picture. I know people who get financially scammed. I know people who get, like, fucked over. I mean, I can't say I know a lot of anecdotes related to violence or things like that, but I know a lot of people who have blackballed themselves in multiple circles, and myself included in the past. When I was acting like a hobbyist, I got bodied in the game. When I started building for my city, I did not get bodied in the game, but then I started realizing the difference between being a hobbyist and trying to build a career. One of those things has a lot more compromise in your soul than the other one because it's not about you anymore. Like, as much as I'm standing here, I'm representing some shit, but like, it's not really about me. I pay a dude now. I have to think about him. He's like, bro, I'm giving you my time. You best be doing something with this. And that shit fucks you up. You're like, okay, I got to think mad different now. Maybe I do have to change it up. So like, if album reviews be a thing that got me traffic, it's ego that stops me from doing it. My ego, deaded like Jay-Z as much as I can.
Yeah.
As much as I can.
Much
So
as
it's
you
like,
can.
to me, it's like, really, it's a low-key shot at like everybody I know who I think's a hobbyist, who I'll never tell them to their face is a hobbyist.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing too, and I wasn't like, even earlier when we were talking about, taking your stuff from professional to hobbyist to, a career. Cartagena was saying that he's never been paid for writing, and then I have to ask, and like, how hard have you tried to sell? And it's just, how much hustle have you put into it?
Or look at it differently. I wrote a knowledge base. Now I'm a professional writer. You can't take that from me. I literally get
Right.
paid to write shit at work. Is it cool
Right,
shit?
but you made
No.
Right.
Nobody wants to read How to Activate Software Name by Holden Stephan Roy. But bro, I got paid to write that. So it's also another way to look at it.
Of course.
Are you being like Hunter S. Thompson and Hemingway and taking the grunt work to accumulate the skill at whatever paycheck in order to get to where you need to be to have the proficiency? In other words, get your money up.
Yeah.
Nobody gets to just have the power to just write and self-publish and be an indie superstar without self-financing, self-marketing, and self-everything else.
Right. But you have to try. That's the thing. If you're not trying, but if you're still working on
However,
a skill,
bro,
if you're
I
still working on a
never got
skill,
paid
that
for
is
any
something.
of-
Of
I'll
course.
never really get paid off of music though. Honestly, legitimate sales, I've made like no money off of my creative efforts. I get money off of being a podcaster and a lot of my role and shit, but then I just make music. So like, I say all that and I get paid to write, but I don't get to paid to write what I want. But now I'm in a position where I'm debating how I'm going to self-publish a book this year. Low key, nobody knows that, but we're dropping off some book shit and
Hey,
stuff.
what's up?
Because like there's things you can do once you're in the situation, once you know all the things that go into it, once you've mapped out the process. But more importantly, I do not get writer's block. I can sit there and write 1,000 words because it's a fucking job. It's not anything else, creative or otherwise. I can write songs on the spot because it's a job. If you were like, Holden, write a song, I would be like, that's weird flex, but let's do it. Because like, that's a job. It's not fun.
Well, you've done it so much. You've done it so much now that you can just command it.
Is it fun? Fuck yeah, it's fun. But like, it's not fun the way people perceive fun when they're looking for a fun work. You know, it's not fun spending 4 hours being like, in your fucking mic trying to hit some notes because it sounds like ass and you're hating yourself the whole time, okay? That shit sucks ass. Nobody talks about how much shit sucks ass in this process. You know what sucks ass? OBS.
Oh yeah,
it's part of the game, bro.
It's part of the
game.
You know
what I mean? Like
slobs is worse.
Hobbyists don't fucking do that shit. They don't learn the shit they need to learn.
Yeah,
they just let it be.
Right, and they're just like they're depending on magic and the goodwill of other people to transport them to the next level or whatever their goals are.
To be fair, I'm even a little bit talking to myself. I could have made a million better fucking moves in the past. But like now I'm trying to rectify that.
But that's what I'm saying.
Confident to speak on it now.
That's why I was saying earlier, like I don't catch the arrogance. I catch something of someone who's talking to people, but also talking to themselves. And like, you know, worried about the trappings that one could lay for themselves in this type of work and in the pursuit of power and money. Which
ironically, good luck making it in this game without power and money.
Hey, let's go. The zone where hobbyists get bodied. Okay. Maybe that all goes together. All right, so
I would say yeah. So people see shit one time, they run it up, whatever. They like get their little flash in a pan moment for one such thing. Maybe it's a song, whatever. Then they try to replicate it. This is actually about shadow banning a bit more. Like the way people whine about shadow banning. Nah, nobody got shadow banned. Honestly, algorithms just evolve and your content was no longer the hot shit for the algorithm.
Wait. So there's no such thing as shadow banning? Is that what you're saying?
In my opinion, no. I think there's just the algorithms have one job: show interesting content to people. And if at that moment that you post it, it does not feel there are interesting content, because sometimes what'll happen is you'll be like a hot trend for a minute on some style or content. Now, I'll be honest, there might be specifics on Twitter. Twitter has but that's not shadow banning. That's actually banning.
That's banning.
Shadow banning is when they diminish your reach and let you post.
But that happens all the time, though. I mean, like,
that's not shadow, but that's what I mean. That's the algorithms evolving. So if you're getting,
I don't know about that though. Look at YouTube and look at the people and the creators on that, and the creators who get labeled maybe right wing or alt right or something. The ones who get labeled by YouTube because they are the arbiters of truth, of course, and then they decide they admit it. They've admitted it that they'll slow down people's, and even the subscribers to these channels. When you're talking about like Ben Shapapa or Tim,
but they
Tool
also do
or
it
whatever.
To all the fucking people on the left. It's just that the left never got the same kind of buzz that the right got.
You don't
know anybody on the left because they never got the buzz the right got. The right gets buzz. The right pulls shit off.
But the left is what's in control, though. To say that the left is not
a lot of little voices and the right is centralized large voices. So you just hear and see the impact of the right a lot more.
But when you look at these large institutions, they all tend to lean left. I'm sorry, they all tend to lean left. At least in America here. Look at the New York Times and look at look at the government.
No, Bezos is the Washington Post.
Bezos, the Washington Post. I mean, the whole Amazon and corporate culture right now is just completely left.
Look,
I mean, to say that it's not
there isn't active efforts to suppress types of content. What I think happens though is that for like a week or 2 weeks or a month, a certain kind of content is trendy and you get like numbers. So you start running that kind of content and then just as fast it's not trending, and now you're not getting those numbers.
I think that's true too, though. I think that's true as well.
I think that 9 times out of 10, look, there are some probable political people speaking some shit that are legitimately getting shadow banned. But I've seen people in bikinis talking about getting shadow banned.
Yes, now that's ridiculous.
So like, you gotta understand how widely used some of these terms are, and how like, if only like a small percentage of very extreme, and half the time these people that on the right that do get banned and shit be saying some seriously outrageous shit on purpose, not for any other reason than to get some headlines and shit. So it's like, well, why'd you break the fucking rules, bruh? Oh, they're not clearly defined. You know, there's a line that most people see because most people don't get fucking banned. Don't go near it. Just be like a little comfy. Wow. You can, with different language, always deliver your message. And I feel like that's why sometimes people get clipped, because they want to like push it. Right. On political reasons.
Right. They want to get those clicks, and instead you lose.
All YouTube wants is Coca-Cola's money. Because remember that time Coca-Cola pulled out right quick?
Right, exactly.
That's some real shit.
It's true.
So it's not politics. It's literally just business.
Politics,
you know who
too.
You should be mad at, though? Because if you really want to be mad at people right now, it's Visa and MasterCard. Y'all are mad at the actual wrong people. It's not the government. It's that Visa has, and it's particularly Visa, has a moral and ethics clause. I know this because I was trying to get involved in a venture with virtual cards. I can't speak too much on that, but I can say I was pitching ads. Like, bro, picture this ad for a virtual credit card. It's just a man. He's on a DM like, I'll meet you at the hotel. He fucking books it with the virtual hell card. He fucks the hoe on the side, comes back home, then buys a gift for the wife and be like, that's what the charge was. That's a great ad for a virtual credit card. Turns out Visa would never approve that on ethics clauses. So when the financial institutions at the macro level are the ones imposing these morals and everyone's judging the wrong people, they don't know that everybody's bending over backwards to fucking Visa.
Right.
That's the problem with half this shit. So
I can understand that, and that is true. But there are people out there who are in positions of power in these companies who are making decisions based on an ideology that radiates from the left and will actively go out. I've talked to one personally.
So I'm gonna like argue that it's not so much the left as like what I call mom culture. The like
call it whatever you want, Holden.
No, but hear me out. The people that are like, I want a nice, safe world for my kids in the middle class and shit. Mm-hmm. It's not left or right. No. It's safe. And it just so happens half the left messages are a lot safer in the modern rule set than the right messages. Yeah. It's kind of hard to be like, yo, let's include everyone versus fuck this type of person. That tends to be how the split feels at a super bullet point level.
It does.
Given the current terms and conditions, unfortunately, one group be making content that's violating a little bit more than the other group. Is that right or wrong? I don't know. I'm telling the other group to switch their tactic and they can stay on the platform like everyone else does.
But when you look at people who get canceled and because they're public about their ideologies, and people on the left who, like a great example was the Gina Carano situation where her co-star made a very similar, like weird little Nazi post. And one was revered because he was he was a proponent of the left, but Gina Carano, who was a Trump supporter, who was vocal about her beliefs, was completely canceled for doing a very similar post. So what you're saying is not necessarily true. Is that people on the left spread just as much hate? It's just accepted because we've sort of allowed that ideology to sort of take
the left read the terms and conditions better than the right. The left read the community guidelines.
The left wrote the terms and conditions. I would say more of that.
Yeah, because like Silicon Valley. To be fair, arguably, the left was a lot more drug leaning in the age when drugs and inventions were kind of correlated, and the right was Puritan and not being inspired. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the left invented shit on drugs. Bill Gates and fucking what's his name, Steve Jobs, both revolutionary figures, both had great epiphanies on acid in the 70s. So all I'm saying is when you're not doing drugs, I'm not advocating drugs. That's not what I'm doing here.
As he holds a joint.
When one group is hella Puritan and being like, we're going to be mad sober about this, and one group's like, you know, it'd be fucking dope You can see how one group invents the power structure that like ends up creating the rules. So like you're right. I do think Silicon Valley and most of them play. Yo, Montreal's a tech center. It's fucking left wing as hell.
All
All
right,
this shit
buddy.
is left wing
Stay
as hell.
safe, Cartagena.
And I'm not even like thinking left wings isn't as biased as you. I just consume both sides of the fence, and left wing content does a much better job at not breaking the rules.
And by the
that's
way,
all I can say.
And by the way, I'm not trying to advocate for the right at all, because I'm fucking pretty fucking liberal when it comes to like just social liberalism.
Like,
and
you got shit like PragerU that just makes shit up. So it's like, okay, it makes sense that they get banned.
Right. No,
and then everybody that gets associated with them kind of gets a little flaggy poo.
But then the New York Times or the Washington Post can write whatever they want, and then in the middle of the night while no one's watching, go in and rewrite their articles to match history. So no, it's both sides. It's both sides, and it's both fucking dirt. It's both
on that part. I'm like really not into this dichotomy of left versus right shit that is really accentuated by media forces
and it's stupid
stuff.
anyways for us to be fighting, like, for any of us to
the
be
left's
fighting.
Branding is often really good at a surface level. And the right's branding is kind of ripping off the Band-Aid and being more direct about this shit.
True.
It's kind of like when Canadians try to act like we're not everything that you guys is. We're just nicer. Please and thank you about it.
Yeah. You're just a little bit more nicer and complacent about things.
So like I hear everything you're saying. I just would argue that sometimes a lot of powerful figures on the right recognize the power of polarization related to capital and are willing to get banned to make the $1 million you're never going to hear about. And the left, unfortunately, likes principles. So they never take that check and they never get silenced.
No, I mean, it's a fucked up system, and I feel like I think the only problem I'm having is that I don't necessarily agree with everything the right has to say, but I definitely don't, and I don't necessarily agree with everything the left has to say. But what the problem is that the pendulum has swung completely to one side, and there's no balance anymore. And even though there's a lot of stuff on the right that I don't agree with, I feel like the balance is off.
There are a fuck ton of billionaires financing people on the right, and there are not a
right
fuck ton
and
of
the left though. There's billionaires financing both sides.
I think that what happens is you get the Facebooks as the result of the financing of the left rather than people, and you get this shit. Whereas the right literally has like billionaires, like Mian Yiannopoulos, whatever that dude was. That dude was just backed. All these guys, these figures, these Ben Shapiro, they're all just backed by rich people. And their job is to say this outrageous shit because it gets all them headlines. And if you look at the economy of how content generates profit, just beyond, forget the content, like the actual subject matter. Just look at how the rich people like to get returns on investments in all endeavors. That's how the stock market operates. And all of these institutions you're describing are nothing other than publicly traded companies for the most part that are not, I actually don't know about all the news, but I believe most of the news is like public level companies that like do their shit. Not like CBC in Canada, but like a lot of the private shits. And so now it's really just, rich people vehicles and shit. They aren't actually unbiased. They're just there to please the shareholders and the advertisers and the money man. That's like their only purpose. And that's all their only purpose has ever been. Yo, it's not like the news was pure, bro. Like all you have to do is look at a history of news to see it's been sensational as bullshit since like the Victorian era of the inception of the news. In fact, the news just used to more blatantly make things up. Now there's at least a degree of scrutiny. Now, it's unfortunate that institutions like the New York Times did not adapt well to a current market and gave all their fucking property rights to Google, who fucked the shit out of the news industry. That's actually what happened. Yeah. You can watch fucking Scott Galloway's breakdown on that. He was on the board of directors at the New York Times at the time. But what happened is Google basically jacked everybody. It was like, listen, we'll get you exposure. And we all know what happened about exposure. It paid no bills, but it actually tanked the media. So now Google just reveals everything. And there's no money that gets exchanged between Google. In fact, the New York Times now has to spend money on Google to be seen, whereas really Google just exists because of the news. That's how it got famous. So the New York Times and then misplayed and inked the wrong deal back in the day. Now auto financing fucked. And it's really just that one or two things back then fucked up the entire funding. You know what sold newspapers? Because I talked to a lady
one of them politicians. She was the ex-mayor of my borough, and like she worked at the Montreal Gazette, which is equivalent of the New York Times, but from Montreal once upon a time. Because it's trash now. But like, what I found out was that subscription numbers was like a way to sell advertisements. All subscriptions was 25% of like the fucking advertisements, right? So of the money income, sorry. So 25% of all income is the subscription amount. But when you can boast 250,000 subscribers, you can pull that much extra in advertising, and that's how you fund good journalism. Everybody wants free journalism, fair. Ad rates on websites were supposed to be like this payout gold mine. And for content creators across all print media who tried to go that route and then gave everything away to Google, we ended up in a situation where literally nobody pays for shit.
Yeah.
Right? And money doesn't solve the problem, as we learned on YouTube across the late 2010s, when all the mega corporations like BuzzFeed basically had to die or scale back because nearly all their shows weren't profitable. And it turns out that advertising on the internet's just shit money, and it was overblowing in a bubble. And so everybody hedged the wrong bets. And now who the fuck wants to pay for media? Like, who's actually gonna pay for journalists? You know who it is? It's fucking Netflix, bro. And Amazon Prime. Like, nobody else is paying for this shit.
Yeah.
So like, that's how deep it gets.
Well, that's
the
what
best journalism you're getting is coming from technocrats because nobody else is paying for the news.
Well, but then you have
So
the
it's
alt
really
media.
twisted, bro.
Like, are you familiar with Substack?
Nah,
Oh.
I like.
Bro,
too much
Substack
shit
is
out
like,
there.
I know, but Substack is like literally a place where journalists are going, and it's basically a subscription base for journalists to independent journalism. So like Matt Taibbi, who used to write for Mighty, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Ivorin.
Mighty.
Hold on, I gotta do a legit one. Mighty. Thank you so much, Mighty, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's I forgot what it was. Oh, Substack, like Matt Taibbi and like who's that other
I see what you're saying.
the guy who broke the Snowden case.
Edwards. Oh no, I don't know his name, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
So all these independent journalists are going there, and you're paying like $5 a month to get their content. So it's basically going back
That's
to
amazing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think it's really it's incredible.
It's kind of like what Curiosity Stream and Nebula are. All my favorite YouTubers basically said fuck YouTube, and if I want to watch them for real, I gotta go like fucking pay Curiosity Stream, which I'm probably gonna do this year because everybody I like's on Nebula. They're like, yeah, here's some like occasional content, you YouTube audience that I used to care about. And I think that's the future of content, though. It is going to be, that's what VR is going to create, actually. The timeline is done. That's what's going to change in the future. There's no timeline.
It's like personal everything, NFTs.
Discord is the best representation of the future of social media. I think that can exist in a tangible way. And that's what it's going to be like. So
because everybody's
at that
personal
point-
servers where you can come and you can spend money, and like Roblox, they have their own in-game buying.
Oh, you want to get the news from the New York Times? Pay $10 to access the New York Times space where
Right.
you'll be able to interact with the journalist directly and
Yeah.
weird shit like that.
Okay, we gotta get through this because I have another thing at 4 that I have to do that is actually I'm contracted to do. So I got it. So let's get through this. And Reina, I don't know if you're. You are here. Reina, are you planning on? Are you up to do the beam, or do you want me to just do it by myself? Just let me know in the chat. All right, let's go. Never cuff, stage LS. So like that it's stuck, never cuff, stage LS. That's sort of getting stuck in those what we were talking
Like
about.
trends or
Yeah.
whatever you get
And you
stuck
get
on, like, not
jealous,
evolving.
and you never hook.
Yeah.
You never like really catch on because you're just sort of living in this rut. Would you say?
Yeah, and you can't like commit to bigger visions because like a bigger vision evolves. It's not static.
Yeah.
It evolves, and so you can't commit to anything and roll with it. You just stay mad and
Like
jealous and
Reina,
petty.
she doesn't know either. Reina can't commit right now. She's like, I can't commit to that right now, son. It's totally fine. I'll just do it by myself, Reina. Don't worry about it. Okay, so here we are. We're talking about casting votes. We're talking about puppets on strings.
Ironically, this has nothing to do with votes. This has to do with like contests
And the people
way,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
like people gamble on their like rap careers and shit. is more where I'm coming at. And
Wow.
so like,
Wow, I took that
people
so
are, like-
differently.
I mean, it kind of applies with all things in life, I suppose.
Mm.
But like, yo, a lot of musicians, it feels like they're just puppets, just dancing for the luck of a
Mm-hmm.
label signing you, or you'll do that song with the bitches, and then people gonna come through, or whatever they're gonna be doing, right? And it's like, you know, cast from the most dapper and clunky. So that's like them top level fake figures, the idols that people follow, right? And so that's kind of where that was going.
The max is so chunky, we spit like poverty, some fun things.
They spit like poverty. Now that I could see definitely back to like the
Well, that's
rapper
just-
world.
Nah, it's just middle class people.
Mm.
Everybody act like poverty fun, but like, I don't know.
I don't know
You
any
haven't,
middle class
like-
people who are like poverty is fun. Who's saying
You
poverty is
haven't-
fun?
You haven't listened to their fucking rap.
Stop being poor.
No, but it's like, even look at the way like ripped jeans is currently a trend, right? Like that's
like
just society
millionaires
making,
wearing ripped jeans. Yeah.
like that's just society making poverty a fun thing, and a lot of trends come from poverty.
Right.
And we make it like fun, and honestly, like half our slang comes from that shit, and like even like a lot of that happens. Like poor people do some shit, and then it gets hot, and then everybody acts like, oh, it's so fun, or like I don't know. I feel like people fetishize this like glorified life of gangsterism and hard shit without having any context for what the fuck it means.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. The way I took it is that we put these people up in front of these people who shouldn't be in the spotlight. We throw them in the spotlight, and they come from like the shittiest parts of society. And I'm talking about I'm talking about leadership. I'm not talking about like poor people and stuff, because that sucks. That would be a shitty way of looking at it. But I'm just saying, like, I was looking at more of the context of who the character of people that we put up in front of these televisions to lead us. You know what I mean? Like,
Or like the way a David Dobrik might go spend a night in jail for like the sake of 1 million views, and then everybody watches it and it's all some fun thing. But really, it's like, bro, I don't know if he did that, but one of those kinds of guys did.
Right.
And it's like, nah, that ain't it. Like that's weird when you really think about it.
yeah, there's people out there really suffering in those situations. The caliber of character that carries. Now I took this. I mean, just the clowns that that are the caliber of character that carry with lanyards. I don't know. You explain it now, and I'll kind of go off that because go ahead.
This was a little bit like the way I see Puritan people kind of criticizing, like the way that certain people gain success in life, right? So they'll be like, so the character that carry on with lanyards. Lanyards come from military success and shit, right? Like you don't just get lanyards, you earn them. And these are people who gain success in life, even down to like a Bezos and shit. They're the harbingers of dark new worlds. So this is honestly just all the poor people hating all the rich and successful people a little bit.
Okay, I got you. And then, of course, I have the Great Reset because, the WHO, they're owned by the Chinese. Just going to throw that out there. So they're harbingers. Now this one I almost took personally myself, like the satirical barbarians, contrarian with opaque lenses. I almost took this as a dig on me.
It's not a dig on you, but like in another world it could be.
Yes.
Like I don't feel like you really fit that, but like a lot of people that take your stance of humor and political views are low-key just racist bigots. Okay, like I would say high-key, but people don't see it, so they're just low-key just bigots. So, and oftentimes the loudest voices, and in a lot of cases it is this fucking white-ass free speech crowd that's like got this opaque lens of what freedom and shit really means, and so they become satirical warriors, but they don't know what satire means in principle, and so they just say shit that's shocking and then be like, yo, if you can't be like in the world and expect 8 billion people to know that you're fucking kidding if you're going to be making some edgy shit. There is a reason why public broadcasting TV always put these fucking warning things. I don't know why the whole world thought we could go in the world, say whatever the fuck we wanted in front of kids, and it would be okay. That's just some basic decency shit to me. And that's why I think it's an opaque lens. And so it's chaotic angels. Watch them as they twirl. That's the next line, right? And so it's like, all of this shit, all these loud contrarian voices and shit. But really, the people who know how to do shit, honestly, they're not even in that. They're just making their money and doing their thing.
Gangsters travel in silence, or gangsters, what is it? Gangsters travel in silence?
Yeah, like, I mean, I've been on this for all this time. I don't really tell you any of the things I have planned or who I'm working with, or, you know, like, you don't talk about everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just don't do that. Sometimes it's like control the information flow. And I'm not saying I'm afraid of shit. We're trying to leverage technology, virtual reality, and everything to create new experiences and maybe sell a fucking company to Facebook. Why can't I make $100,000 off this fucking dystopia?
Yeah.
I don't have to suffer. Nobody has to suffer in the upcoming world. It will be a choice a little bit to suffer, and it will often come down to, are you willing to be the king, the queen, the prince, or the slave?
Yeah.
It's honestly,
which
a
one
choice.
are you picking? And then we'll just let this play, and then here it is. There it is. All right, Holden, dude, I'm so sorry that we didn't get to talk about what you're working on now. What?
Nah, that's cool.
We're gonna play the video one more time, and then we're gonna switch over to Famera. Now, Reina is not gonna join us, so we are gonna do the pop culture pop off on stream, but I'm gonna do it by myself. So this will be a good time for me to cover the news. So basically, we're gonna just cover the news on how we usually do it. So, Holden, thank you so fucking much for coming on and giving us your whole afternoon. I so appreciate that, my friend. And again, I love what you did with the song, and we're gonna play that shit again. So, everybody, give Holden a round of applause! Yeah. Thank you, Holden. I will be in contact with you soon, sir. All right, guys. Peace. Okay. So I have to move swiftly now. So I'm sorry that I had to rush Holden off, and I'm sorry, Holden, that I had to rush you off, buddy. What's the translation of the French part? I can get you that. Hold on. I'll drop in the chat while I let it play. So we're gonna watch the video again. I'm gonna go pee. I'll drop the translation into the chat, or maybe Holden can. There you go. Holden just dropped it in. And part of that actually came from the license plate of one of the Canadian, like Ottawa, I think. So, fun fact, we didn't even get to that. But okay, guys, we're gonna switch over to basically news. We're gonna do news now, but we're gonna have Famera, and it's gonna be a good time. Is it Quebec? Oh, Quebec. Oh my God, I suck. All right, guys, let's get this video queued up. And I'm going to go pee, and then we'll do the news and Famera, and then we'll end. We'll end it. We'll call it a day, and that will be our 1,000 follower celebration. So, okay, I got to pee so bad, you guys. Like, just sit here like... So, let me find the actual thing. See if this lines up still. I think it does. Look at that. All right, guys, enjoy this. And I will be RB.
Il va jamais dans la servitude, ce avec la force du gagné. Je me souviens qu'il m'a laissé seul.
Intellect haze, now a renegade. Common nigga built this way, never placated by the simple way. Day saving on display, get it and gain a level in this game. Start on repeat again and again and again. Sure, this always change, but apparently the daily stuff with less change. As the AI behaves based on every play made, dopped up, out of range. Thus the kill shot eliminates, the currency accumulates. Compound the interest among us, the club reluctant and sus. The trust busted up as lungs, muster up, lover veins. What about us? The funds don't stay flush. We're building up on guns. 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 In a different home, locked in and hidden on the plebs, only bitter on the stins that never even know that Famera grow with the capital. Freedom, baby, let it ring, sing the song of beautiful. The one that no one barely knows, focused on imaginary goals. Enough to forever swear guilty to the throne. Extol admiration for rolling over but the dog is honing. Get to robbing, his own hobbyists get bodied. Seen it once running up, muttering that it's stuck. Never trust, leisure-less, puppies dancing for lucky ballots. Cash from the most dapper and clunky. Accolades from actors so chunky, we spit like poverty, some funky. The caliber, the character, the carry on for years. Are the harbingers of dark new worlds. This satirical barbarians, contrarian with open flips, chaotic angels. Watch the master twirl, twirl, twirl.
In abundance. But still in abundance. But still in abundance. Tu ne comprendras pas. Vivant jamais dans la servitude, ce avec la force du gagné. Je me souviens qu'il m'a laissé, 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 laissé.
Brought to you by Pfizer. Fuck you. Pay me.
Well, there it is, everybody. That is the album, the title. That is the single, and we're ready for it. Now we are gonna jump on over to the pop culture pop off on Famera, which is basically gonna be music news from here on out of the show. So I'm gonna go over to our hot boy, or I'm sorry, that's what I call it, like White Boy Winter. And we're gonna start with the coverage of what we got over here up on screen, and then we'll kind of go into what we want to figure out as we go. So let me see. I gotta get my NDI up. Start the broadcast, baby. Start it. 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna get our Famera app. Boom. There it is. And then we're gonna go over here and get our NDI wherever that is. Is there an NDI on this? And I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. So, maybe we'll show you guys what it looks like. And this is what I'm going to be doing. There it is. There it is. So it's going to be a little wonky here because we're doing it like this, but we are doing the pop culture. Not so fast. That show will start soon. Oh, I guess I don't get to go on that show. How do I get to go on the show? How do I start the show if I'm not the show? Okay, I guess I'll just start. Oh, hold on, folks. Hold on. Hold the phone, everybody. Hello? Hi. Are you going to leave now? Do you wanna go out and then I'll just stay in?
I don't know.
Just end it and I'll just stay in the room.
Okay, it sounds like that's your plan. So.
No, you can be here. I just was looking. Anyways, we are beaming live on Famera, everybody. This is pretty much Famera. You can kind of look around and see how it looks. It's just sort of like a cool little place for you to hang out. And if you put exclamation point, can we get exclamation point magical? Yeah, it's really cool. It's kind of a place where you can exclamation point Famera. It's like camera with a F. It's like a hang room. Like you can use this personally. It runs on. Thank you very much, Bonnie. Or what is? So we're gonna get into this, guys. I'm gonna have to put this somewhere so they can see me, but I don't have my thing, so I'm gonna get close. So I'm still on camera. So someone's watching me beam right now. So hello, everybody who's watching me beam right now. The one person. If you might be Reina, that's okay. I'm Mikey P, and this is the Pop Culture Pop Off, and of course we are live on Twitch as well. So oh my Jesus, mighty Lord, that was terrible. That was just awful. Hold on, folks. I'm sorry about that. I did not mean to do that. So many things happening. I know. And now Reina's back. Now she's gone. All right, cool. All right. Sorry guys. I'm really trying to make this work here. I did plan on doing this with Reina, but of course Reina is sick and it's all my fault and I'm a damn dirty bastard. So, first item up for Jabs. So, this week we saw the takedown of a huge streamer, Pokimane, who's a streamer here on Twitch, and she was. It was interesting because she was literally watching The Last Airbender on her Twitch stream, and she's a huge Twitch streamer. So what I'm not understanding is how in the hell does a huge Twitch streamer just think that it's okay? She'll be back. I know she'll be back on Monday, but still, like, I don't understand. You know, I guess you got to know, well, that's okay. I'm just saying, my concern is like, who doesn't get the memo by now? Like, I get that you can get away with watching some YouTube videos and stuff, I guess. But if you're on a level that big, I don't know how you can sit there and really think that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you going to really think that that's okay? And by the way, on Famera, guys, Reina's not here this week because she is down. She's sick. She's not feeling good. So everybody who's watching on Famera, Reina will be back next week. She knew exactly what she was doing. Who cares if it's just 48 hours? Yeah, you know, she probably did. But it was just interesting, you know, like, I don't think she was out complaining. Was she complaining about it? I don't know. I never went and looked into what she said about it. Now, let's read this article about it because I think it's pretty interesting. And it'll kind of, you know, shine a little light on what's going on. If I can find the stupid article. What did I do with the article? I had the article pulled up, guys. Hold on. I'm pulling up the article. Just give me a second here. It was on what? Polygon? Pokemon Band. So here we go. Here we go again on my own. So Pokemon banned for streaming Last Airbender. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, but that's just maybe someone here didn't know who Pokimane is, and he's looking her up as we speak. Pokimane is a big Twitch streamer. I think she's a gamer. I don't really know what she does. I just know that she's huge. Like, we can read through it, and it tells you. So it's a temporary ban, like Reina said. Even the biggest among us can fall. On Friday night, Pokimane Annie's, or whatever you say, one of the most popular streamers on Twitch with over 8.5 million streamers, was banned from the platform after streaming a popular animated series, Avatar: The Last Airbender. The cause of the ban is still unknown, but likely the result of a DMCA strike. According to Twitch Tracker, the streamer was watching and casting the Nickelodeon show to roughly 25,000 peak concurrent viewers during the stream. Annie's did not directly comment on her social media platforms on how long the ban would last. However, at the time of publication, Annie's Twitch channel is inactive. Twitch has a 3-strike policy when it comes to DMCA claims to her channel will likely be restored. So, yeah, you know, you know what I mean. I see what you're saying. I see people streaming wrestling on Twitch all the time without consequence. That's what I'm saying. I see this shit all the time. People are constantly streaming stuff on Twitch. But if you have any clout and if you have more people, you're gonna get the takedown. So I feel like, and I think that's like on every level, right? Like even with cancel culture and stuff, it's like you're geez, I forgot what I was talking about. Wow. Look at me, guys. I lost track of my own thoughts while talking in real time. Great. Let's read what they were saying. I'm going to read what you said, Z, and maybe someone, okay, you know what I mean? People streaming wrestling. Yes. So they do it all. That's what it was. So people who are bigger streamers have to be a little bit more careful about what they do. And I feel like that's oh my God, look at this. And I feel like that's one of those things that apply across the board where it's like, you know, like if you're a smaller podcaster or a smaller streamer or smaller in any way, you can get away with a lot more outrageous things because there's not a lot of people, you know, that you're affecting. But as soon as you start getting any kind of notoriety, any kind of, you know, any kind of clout, things get really different. So, you know, people pay attention. It's basically people start paying attention to you. And I firmly feel like some of the things that I've said in the past could have got me canceled, but since I'm a smaller streamer, a smaller podcaster, it's gonna go mostly under the radar until I do get clout, and then they're gonna go digging through my past to find things to cancel me for. So there you go. Oh, please disagree all the way. Don't give me any ideas. I disagree a little bit here. People who are huge streamers actually get away with a lot more shit. They can break rules and Twitch will be like, okay, well, you're making us so much money. Yeah, exactly. And I guess that also applies in real life as well. Like when you're talking about platforms and people who are in the political realm as well. It's like, if you're a whale and you're making the network a lot of money, like if you're like a news pundit and you're like wild with the mouth, but you're making a lot of money they're going to look the other way. So yeah, you're right. You're right on that. But what is this then? Why would they risk such a whale? Are they just making a point? Are they, what do you think, Z? Do you think they were just trying to make an example and show that it can happen to anybody? Or do you think it was something that was, you know, that was just random and she got reported and, or you know, she got hit with one of you know, the bots, one of those bots that go out and make sure you're not streaming their content or whatever. Do you think it was something like that? My feeling is that Pokimane wanted to stream Airbender to have fun with her viewers, and she was like, "Fuck it, I'll get away with it." Yeah, no, and I'm sure it wasn't like some like planned thing where you're like, this will get national attention on, you know, different news publications online. You know, like that's not what she was aiming for. It was because the company that owns the Airbender made the claim. Exactly. And I feel like if somebody was a smaller streamer watching that they would maybe get away with it. I see. Twitch would rather not deal with it. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting time to be a content creator. The Fire Nation attacked. Streamers broadcasting and commenting on television is a newer trend on Twitch, known as TV meta. It's become more popular way to capture the attention of viewers. In December, popular variety streamers like Felix XQC and Hassan Abi Piker stream viewings of the competitive cooking show Master Chef on their channels. Still, the strategy is risky, as Twitch has a history of removing content after recent takedown requests from companies. In 2020, the streaming platform encouraged streamers to remove content to comply with the copyright laws for music. Twitch responds to notifications from copyright holders who have filed DMCA requests. In this case, Viacom CBS owns Avatar: The Last Airbender, so its legal team would issue the request. A likely DMCA strike against such a popular streamer could have huge implications for Twitch's larger TV meta trend. While Annie's channel will likely be reinstated, it remains to be seen if other big variety streamers will continue to react to shows with the threat of a takedown looming over them. I mean, the simple fact that I'm just reading this article is me copyright infringing, right? Like we're basically watching someone else's content, but we're just reading it. So I'm wondering if that's going to apply to people, because there's all kinds of people on the internet or on YouTube that are just reading news articles. They have subscriptions to Newsweek and New York Times, and they're just reading news articles and commenting on it. And they have millions and millions of subscribers, and they're making a lot of money. So does that apply to them? Does that apply? Or does news fall under a weird sort of open sort of thing. You're sharing your content from another website is technically TOS. So there you go. There's so many technicalities of what is, other people's contents now. So, doing this is risky. So, I don't know. I don't know what the outcome is, but it makes sense. And again, another thing is that you can't be completely against it. You can't be like, oh, fuck these guys, fuck these companies for being greedy, because it's not just these companies that are invested in it. It's, these actors, the crew, they get some stuff on the back end. So you're actually taking away from the people who were a part of the production and stuff, and not just the corporate entities that sort of funded the project. So there is a lot here. People want to get paid for the music they make. We just talked about that, right? We were just talking about how, we want to, you put in time, you put in effort, and eventually you want to be compensated for what you do. So it's a complicated world online. It certainly is, Bon. It certainly is. I've never really watched Pokimane. I knew of her just because of the Twitch world, and it's hard not to know of these huge streamers. But she'll be fine. She's fine. She'll be back on Monday, kicking it, doing her thing. So I think you're right, Z, that she was just like, I just want to watch The Last Airbender, and 25,000 of my people want to watch it too. So let's go. It still is confounding me how we are 3% Mexican. No worries. I got you, Z or Zed. I like Zed better, but I'll remember Z more because that's what we call my brother-in-law is Z. All right. So what else do we got? What else do we got on the docket here? And we're still live on Famera, as you can see. Boom, Famera. Oh, God. That scared me. Z is claimed by Zorro.
Sir Ian McKellen. Now, please, put your hands together for your host with the most,
Mike E.P.P. All right. Hello, Famera. You wonderful human beings, you. Anyways, so that was our first article of the day. Now I'm telling you, this is the pop culture pop off. So we're not talking about any hardcore situations here. We are talking about pop culture and all that has to do with us. All these streamers struggle with my name every time, and I'm like, drop it. Please just drop it. Zuminati, subliminal, zuberance, Zuby. Okay. Yeah. So, anyways, we got a big crossover thing happening here. Famera, Twitch meets Famera. Famera meets Twitch. This is what's happening. Welcome. Okay, so here we go. We got Chris Brown's rumored ex-fling. Diamond Brown gives birth to a baby girl. Who wants to see the first picture? Boo! Bon, do you not like Chris Brown? I only got this one because Reina likes Chris Brown. I like Chris Brown's music, but I don't think he's the coolest dude in the world or anything. But Bonnie's like, move on. Chris, boo round. All right, we're going to read the article because nobody punches Rihanna. Listen, I agree. No one punches Rihanna. But somehow Chris Brown made it through. Somehow he made it through the Me Too's and the whole thing. So for whatever reason, this abuser is still relevant. So hey, let's read about Bonnie. You just made me feel bad for reading this article. I have to, like, I need, this is the content I went over. So I'm sorry, Bonnie. This is the content that I need to fulfill my side. I'll accept. Read about his cute little baby. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate you giving us the okay. Oh, that's not it. So here we go. Let's look at the. So here's the problem. I'm not gonna lie. The picture. There is no pictures. There's this thing. It's this. There is no picture. Diamond Brown put this up. Lovely. They named her Lovely, by the way. Lovely Symphony Brown. That's actually a really cool name. I actually really like that. Lovely Symphony Brown. That's pretty cool. That's a good name. Solid name. Lovely Symphony. Chris Brown's rumored ex-flame Diamond Brown has given birth. The model shared a sweet photo of her baby girl to Instagram, sharing that she was born on Friday, January 7th, and her name is Lovely Symphony. The princess is here. Lovely Symphony Brown. She captioned the photo, which showed the newborn snuggle up in a tan sleeper with a print and matching hat. She covered Lovely's face with a brown heart emoji. My sweet baby girl, it's been a whole day. You've been in the world. It's been a whole day since you've been in the world and had already shown me the true meaning of life. I promise to love and protect you always. Forever yours, Mommy. Diamond also wrote, Lovely has a place in front of a cute hello world sign that also revealed her time of birth, 4:40 a.m., weight 6 pounds, 9 ounces, height 20 inches. And there she is, everybody. And here on Famera, you guys can check it out. This is the picture. So here's the problem I have with this article, besides the fact that it's stupid. Almost LSD. Yeah, exactly. Almost LSB, right? Why are they saying there's baby pictures when there's a stupid fucking heart in front of the baby's face? I get that they're trying to preserve the anonymity. But still, come on, man. Come on, man. And I also like that it only has 39 likes. 40 now, baby. 40 likes now. And you know what? I'm going to follow Diamond. I'm going to follow her. Because look. Wait, this is Chris Brown's girl? And she only has 133 followers? That don't even make sense, yo. Is that Diamond? Is that who that is? We're looking at oh Jesus. We're looking at pictures of Diamond. I didn't even realize that there was a baby in the pic at first. I know it looks like just something else, right? We're looking at pics of Diamond, so I'll let Famera see it as well. So there she's pregnant. She's beautiful pregnant woman. Very beautiful. Killing it. You got mad respect to the hot pregnant ladies. Here we go. Is Chris Brown expected a baby with model influencer Diamond Brown? How is she an influencer? Can someone tell me how she's an influencer if she has 133 followers? Or is this like a fake account? This has to be a fake account, yo. This has to be fake. I don't know if this is real or not. This is wild. This is wild stuff right here. Anyways, that's that. So not much of a story here, guys. I honestly just pulled this up because I knew Reina. If you date Chris Brown, you're an influencer. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. His last baby mom is famous for being his baby mom. Who's his last baby mom? Chris and Diamond were first romantically linked in 2019, with the model even attending the singer's 30th birthday at Sky High Sports in Woodland Hills that May. As for deleted photo from the birthday party. As for his two children with his exes, Chris tries to maintain a relationship with them. Sources previously told Hollywood Life, with son Aiko residing in Germany with mom Amika. One source says he goes above and beyond to connect with his son. Although Chris can't always be with his son in person, he goes above and beyond to connect with Aiko on a regular basis despite their distance. The source shared, he loves seeing photos and videos of his son FaceTiming. A second source added, Chris, in his responsibility as a father for Aiko is very important, even from such a distance. It is absolutely tough dealing with it because Chris and Amika don't always see eye to eye, but Chris makes every intention to be in contact with his son. Chris has matured, and Aiko is one of the main reasons for that. I like how this was very much spun up by by his PR people. I love the wording is very PR wording, right? Oh my goodness. Chris Brown's rumored ex-fling is pregnant. See her stunning maternity photos. Chris Brown's son Aiko turns 1. What's it? Oh, Amika. Amika. Well, let's check out Amika. Let's check out what Amika was all about. And Amika Harris, Chris Brown's ex. Let's go on her Instagram. I wonder if she's congratulating. He's mature. Yeah, exactly. He's mature now. And you know what? The thing is that he's always going to have that marred past. And he's always going to have that little extra added thing in any article that comes out about, like if anything that has to do with his behavior, they're always going to have to add in. And he's come a long way. But they're not going to say from what, right? They'll never say from a long way from what. Like they're indicating that something happened that would say that he was not mature in the past. So what is that thing? We don't know. They're not going to mention that. Amika. What's up, Amika? Okay, so this is Chris Brown's ex. Oh, look at the baby. Is she German? She's German? Is that what she... 1.1 million is kind of influenced. Yeah, I would say so. He's mature now. His new fans have no idea about what he did in 2004. Damn, that was in 2004? What? No way. That can't be in 2004. That was like, when did that happen? When did Chris Brown and I don't want to see the pictures though. Fight year or date. They were teens. They're now in their 30s. So in 2009. Oh, I don't want to see those. Those are awful. Let's get rid of that. Yeah. So, Chris Brown has a lot, but he has some beautiful kids and he has great taste in women. I mean, she's beautiful. So, there's something to be said, I guess. There's something to be said about that. And I'll show the folks on Famera who we're looking at Chris Brown's ex. And, oh, look how cute that baby is, though. It's a cute little baby. She's all German and shit. So wait, she is German, and like she's an awesome mix. What is she mixed with? Does that sound bad? That's an awesome mix. I also got to remember that I can't swear, guys. So if you see me swearing, just remind me that we're not swearing. Okay? This is not the time nor the place to swear. Anyways, amazing. Go, Chris Brown. You're all matured and growed up now, and let's just forget about your past now. So, hey. So another article I wanted to bring up. She's American, Black, and Asian. Ooh. Oh, thank you, Reina, for doing the sort of the background work. Thank you for working, even though you're still trying to recover. So, I appreciate that. I appreciate you doing the grunt work out there. So let me see here. So I found another article today, and it was kind of a bummer. And I haven't read through it yet, but it's news and it's music related, so I'm gonna read it. But it's nothing. I mean, it's nothing like. Listen, it's fine. It's just it's a little bummerish. It's a little bummerish, and so you guys are gonna come with me into the darkness. Oh Jesus. Sorry, Famera. My bad. All right, get out of here. All right, so this is another thing that came up, and I'll show Famera, folks. Sinead O'Connor's 17-year-old son found dead after going missing. Now, of course, I said this was Bummer Town, but, Sinead O'Connor is an amazing artist, and I'm interested. I want to know what happened. It's really sad. Do you guys, I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember when she went on SNL. Let's go on there, because this is what a badass Sinead O'Connor was, and we'll watch it without any. Any of the. We'll mute the sound so we're not too DMCA. But Sinead O'Connor SNL Pope. Yep, there it is. Boom. So this she was such a badass, and she was like hot and bald too. Hold on, no. Oops.
Until
Okay, we're gonna mute that. She has a beautiful voice, but we don't want the DMCA bullshit, right? Even though this is DMCA as hell. But look at her. She's oh no, that was something else. I mean, look how cute she is, and she was. I mean, she was just like this little cute girl with a bald head. And then hold on, let me look at. She's pissed though. She is pissed off. She is not to be fudged with. I gotta stop cussing. Look at, here it is. Boom, Pope John Paul ripped him up. Ripped him up. Look at her. And then the way she looks afterwards. Hold on. The way she looks. And she means it, son. She freaking means it. Hold on. The way that she ripped that up and she looked at the camera was awesome. Wait a second. Come on. What's going on here? There it is. Let's look at that again. Look at it. Look at her face. Look at her. She is mad. She is mad as hell. Here, let me show Famera so you guys don't feel like you're missing out. Look at her. Now wait for it. Look at her. She looks like she's lecturing someone. She's educating, son. Look at her. Tell him. Tell him, Sinead. Look at her. Ooh. And then there he is. Nope, don't care about you, Pope John Paul. Get out and look. Watch your face. She did the Dux. What's up, baby boy? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by, buddy.